11. Friends don't lie.
Stop it! You're freaking her out!
He's freaking me out! The upside down.
Do you understand what he's talking about?
No. I found the chocolate pudding!
Oh God, please tell me it's not the kid.
I need you to hide!
Mornings are for coffee and contemplation.
Holy shit.
Welcome back. My name is Kit.
I'm Andy.
And I'm Steve.
And this is Streaming Things, Streaming Stranger Things. This time it's episode 8 of chapter 5, The Rightside Up.
The finale.
It's been a long road on this journey to get to here.
In many ways.
In many ways, yeah.
Friend.
We've got a huge episode
tell you
lined up for you. We're of course, going to talk about the finale, all the ins and outs, the theories, which ones panned out, which ones didn't, blah, 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 right? But also, I think a lot about our show itself, and we're going to talk about a scene-by-scene, play-by-play, pretty much reenactment. That's what we do here on this show. If you've never listened to Streaming Things before, we watch a lot of TV shows and movies. We cover them. Our shtick is that we go scene by scene and pick everything apart right after we've watched it. So we've watched the finale together just mere moments ago. We came right down here to our studio, these microphones, to talk to you about it. You can email the show at streamingthingspod@gmail.com. That's very important because we'll almost certainly do a big mailbag kind of wrapping up the entirety of Stranger Things to publish next week, I would assume.
Yeah. We need
so
those
you wanna
before
get those
Sunday.
in.
So get those to us before Sunday if you want a chance to be on our final Stranger Things wrap-up episode.
Yeah. And we'll read as many emails as we can. We always get way more than we can use, but we try to find some ones that kind of echo what everybody else is saying and try to get everybody's voice out there in that way. So yes, streamingthingspod@gmail.com. Also, if you're like, dang, I really want more of what these guys are doing, well, you can just keep listening to this feed because we're going to be doing a Night of the Seven Kingdoms almost as soon as this wraps up. That's coming out in January on HBO Max, and we do all the House of the Dragon and stuff. So we're very into that universe. But you can also go to patreon.com/streamingthings if you feel so inclined to get all 8 seasons of our Game of Thrones coverage. If you can't afford to support the show financially and join that whole crew, totally understandable. You can rate and review the show wherever you're listening to it. You can share it with your friends and family, post about us on social media, anything to help other people. All of that is appreciated. But if you do nothing, we were just glad you were here at all. And I want you to know that. Happy New Year, by the way. We're recording this on New Year's Eve.
Yeah, it is. What time is it right now?
Eastern Standard, 10:35.
10:35.
Our
Eastern
balls are
Standard
dropping.
Time.
That's right.
Yeah, it's the new year will pass while we're in the middle of this episode for sure.
Yeah, there's one ball, Andy.
Will we look different at some point throughout the episode? Maybe. It's just the new year glow.
We're going to be giving 2026 at some point, I feel like.
Sure, yeah.
Serving that among other things. Yeah, we're going to talk about our overall thoughts about this show. We're going to talk about the ranking, the official Streaming Things pod ranking of all 5 of the Stranger Things seasons. We're talking about our favorite moments from this episode, what we think is the best performance, which will probably be tough. All of that fun stuff is ahead. But first, as you guys know, if you've listened before, and if you haven't, check this out. We're going to do what, Steve?
The MadLibs. It's the time of the show where I ask these two jabronis for words so that, much like Mike Wheeler, we can craft a story together through friendship and love. Are you guys ready to do this Mad Lib that was written and submitted by Lavender Haze?
I am.
Let's do it.
Who wants to go first this time on the last Stranger Things Mad Lib? Who wants to go first?
I'll go.
Honor.
Do it.
Kit Laser will go.
I nominate myself.
Kit Laser, I need an adjective.
Squishy.
Andy, can I have a person in the room?
This guy.
The rubber chicken?
The rubber chicken man.
Kit Laser, I need a type of liquid.
I know what they want me to do, and I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to play into their petty game.
You're above that now.
No, I'm going to go with piss.
Andy, can I have a part of the body?
Sure. Hymen.
Kit Laser, can I have an adjective?
Scared.
Andy, can I have an adverb?
Prematurely.
Kit Laser, give me an animal.
An aardvark.
Andy, I need another part of the body.
I choose ball hair.
Okay. Kit, how about a plural noun?
I'm channeling all of my answers from a higher power, just so you know. Plural noun?
Yes.
Orbs.
Thanks, higher power.
Don't talk to them directly.
Oh, sorry. Andy, can I have an adjective?
I am the vessel.
Pansexual.
Kit, can I have a plural noun?
They're frustrated. It's the same thing. 1 second.
They also thought pansexual?
He was thinking orbs.
I was like,
This higher power sucks.
plural noun, you say?
Yes, higher power.
Nipple clamps. That's just what they said.
They've got orbs and nipple clamps on the mind. Interesting higher power you got there. Andy, can I have a music artist?
Sure. The Bare Naked Ladies.
It's been. Kit, can I have a plural noun?
Bags of shit.
I really thought you were going to say bags of sand to go with your orbs nipple clamp. Andy, can I have a name of a hairstyle?
Let's go with flat top.
All right, Andy, I need a topic of conversation.
Oh, okay. The veracity of the moon landing.
Plural noun, Kit.
Planets.
Orbs.
Andy, can I have a location?
Michael Sarah's basement.
Kit, can I have an adjective?
Smothered and covered.
Smothered and covered.
Like Waffle House has brown.
Yeah, stomped on, splattered. Andy, can I have a 90s movie title?
Fuck, man, I'm getting some weird ones. Okay.
I'm jealous. Orbs. Other round things. And some clamps.
I'm going to go with the classic 1991 Jim Varney special, Ernest Scared Stupid.
Yes. Kit Laser, would you give me a flavor?
Come.
That works here. I'm comfortable with that one.
He's comfortable.
Oh! Andy, I hope you're ready because next up for you, I also need the name of a flavor.
I'm going to go with Strawberry Lube.
I guess the lube viscosity adds a context to the flavor.
Yeah, it's got its own flavor.
It's different than just regular strawberry.
Yeah, you can tell. Like
Yeah.
if you're blindfolded,
You do the blind
they
taste
give you a
test.
strawberry and then some strawberry lube.
Ooh.
You can tell a difference.
Oh my.
Well, of course it tastes different than strawberry, but I would argue in this context, the flavor is the question, right?
Kit, can I have an adjective, please?
Flustered.
Andy, I need a musical instrument.
Does the skin flute count?
I think it does.
Perfect.
Kit, I need a feeling.
Rapture.
Andy, I would like an adjective from you now.
Finnabust.
And last but not least, the last word for our last Stranger Things Mad Libs. Kit Laser, I need a plural noun.
I have only one thing I can do,
Okay.
but I shan't. Pipes.
What were you gonna say?
Bubes.
I'm putting bubes.
He's going to edit me.
And thus concludes the word gathering moment for this Mad Lib. Stay tuned to the end of the episode so you can listen to the story that these two jabronis titled Fin, as in finito, finished.
Oh, Fin.
Yeah, Fin.
Sure. Mm-hmm. I love it. I'm excited and a little bit reticent, you know?
It's going to be a wild one, I think.
That'll be our last Stranger Things Mad Lib ever, most likely.
How sad.
Well, let's get into that sadness, that feeling. We have just finished the Rightside Up, the final episode, not just of season 5 of Stranger Things, but of Stranger Things as a whole. So I'm going to ask each of you in turn and then share myself. Mm-hmm. What are you feeling right now? How do you think that went? What are your overall thoughts on the finale? And I guess I want to preface it with this too. I am a little bit more chronically online, a little bit more in the trenches, but I know you're at least aware of it, Steve. The volume 2 of season 5 was not received well, at least by the loudest people. I don't know if the most people, but it seemed like a good large amount.
Yeah, it was very funny. We actually recorded our previous episode and you guys went home. I started editing and then because last episode we're like, oh, this was so fun. Oh, how great. How fun. And then Annie just texts us. So everyone apparently hates this or maybe you texted it and we're just kind of like, oh.
Well, it was the next day after I had made my video because I stay offline because we watch them one episode at a time and I avoid spoilers like the plague.
Yeah.
And so every time one of these volumes comes out, there's a weird 48-hour period or so where I actually don't do what I fucking normally do all day, unfortunately, because it's not healthy. And so I didn't, until I posted my video, see anybody's thoughts on anything. And the brief glory of that ignorance that I was in.
You were in such a state. Take us back.
And yeah, I was like, oh, okay. And it wasn't a big deal. I don't give a fuck, you know, but there's this, for me, I don't think I did give it a gushing review. You know, I said it was great. And then I talked about a litany of issues that I had. And then I talked about how ultimately what needs to work works. And here's this, is, you know what I mean? Like I don't live in a, was it good or was it bad? It's all I need, bog. You know, like that's not the world I live in, but that's the world that most of the internet lives in, you know?
Right.
Do you say good or do you say bad?
Yeah.
And then
there can only be one of two.
That's
extremes.
all they want.
Yeah.
Right. And so, yeah. But anyway, how do I think the rest of the world feels about what I just witnessed? I don't care, but I definitely wouldn't be able to predict it. But Andy,
Not even a little.
what do you think?
My eyes hurt from how often I was crying during this episode. It was intense. I think that this episode was phenomenal. I think that they stuck the landing, and that's the most important thing, you know? I think that it had some wonderful action that they did in surprising ways, like the whole the gang trying to lure the meat. I don't know what you call the spider flare at this point.
Just
'Cause
the flare.
It's just the flare.
The flare.
but it's not like dust anymore.
The
It's like a
incarnation.
fucking thingy. It's crazy. Big Spider-Man. Yeah, so like them like luring him over to like a trap area so they can hurt the hive mind while 11 is fighting Vecna inside of the chest cavity of the flare. Like, didn't see any of that shit coming. That was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I think that they and how could they not? And it worked for me every time. But I do think on a rewatch, going back, there is a heavy reliance on flashbacks. They several times throughout my notes, I just wrote all the flashbacks because like everybody, they cut to Mr. Clark and he's like, remember that time that he was in class and that other time that he was in class? Like they do that a ton. But it worked so especially well at the end. I just think that occasionally they maybe were a little heavy handed with it.
Sure.
I love the happy ending that we got. I think that looking back when we had all of our theorizing about like who's going to die, how are things going to end, how could it ever not have ended this way where like everybody made it out and they got their happy ending for the most part, you know, everyone except Callie, who apparently just let the world crush in on top of her and she's dead. Mm-hmm. But she jumped to the top of that.
But most people would see that as also a happy ending.
Right. Yeah, for sure. I think that the ending tore me to absolute shreds, especially when Holly and her friends came busting down the stairs past Mike so they could have their turn playing at the D&D table. That was just an absolute chef's kiss moment. And I was so pleased. Like I had teared up a couple of times during this episode, but openly wept when that happened because it just felt like such a cathartic moment. All of the kids, the performances there in that final scene, you could tell that like they weren't acting; they were straight up crying. And you know, it was such a it got me in the feels really, really hard. I was surprised by some of the choices of how people got sidelined. Hop kind of did very little to nothing. Same with Joyce.
Except for that one
scene at the end, which was awesome. And somebody asked us like, who if you could have one F-bomb, who gets it and when and how? God damn,
Joyce
they did
got it.
Let's go. That was fucking awesome.
You fucked with the wrong family.
Yeah, dude. I think that this paid off so exceptionally well. I'm so sad that it's over. I'm heartbroken, but yeah, I'm really, really pleased with how they wrapped it up.
Steve.
Before I say what I think about this episode, I do want to kind of touch real quickly, and I'll try to be quick. Just like where my headspace was heading into this final episode, because we did the last 3 drops. It was really, really hard to get all that stuff out in time because, you know, we watch it, run down here, record, and then I edit and get it all because we wanted to be first. And it's pretty successful. I think it worked out for the most part for us. And so thank you if you listen to the show and for supporting us. That means the world to us. But I was honestly shocked with just how vitriolic the internet has felt the last few days in regards to this show and about Volume 2. I've seen some people who have put out like legit criticisms, like, and then we've given our criticisms of how this the last couple episodes went, but it wasn't enough for me to be like, this show's trash. Certainly wasn't enough to go review bomb it. And it made me sort of reflect and honestly feel disappointment in the fandom writ large, because I'm a huge Star Wars fan. So I watched Star Wars over the course of 20 years become a toxic fandom. And I don't even interact with the Star Wars fandom anymore because it's honestly a bummer. I just watch my Star Wars. I like what I like and I don't like what I don't like. And I just leave it at that. But it was wild to see Stranger Things sort of like, or at least a section of it, warp itself into this like wild and crazy Vecna-like toxicity about the last specifically the final episode, The Bridge. And I just wanted to touch briefly, like I don't understand it. I think people have spent the last couple years setting themselves up to be angry at the show. And even leading up to this, I saw a bunch of people saying some wild theories about what was going to happen in this episode. And as I'm reading, I'm just like, you guys I don't think people are truly engaging with the show that we've been watching for almost a decade. Like, like people are like, oh guys, the bad writing's on purpose because all these things are going to turn out to be a huge dream at the end. It's like, that's not going to happen. And those same people are going to be upset that it didn't. And then point at examples of quote unquote bad writing to prove that they're right. But the examples they put up aren't examples of bad writing. It's just them not understanding what they're watching. And I just want to say that also there's some homophobia running around. I've watched the Will coming out scene several times since last week, and it still makes me cry. And I just want to say that up top. I don't agree with any of the negativity in terms of that scene specifically, but also I think the hatred and the piling on, it's become cool to hate Stranger Things. And you could feel that leading into this final season.
Yeah, that was, I think a lot of the people that hated that second volume supposedly weren't even going to watch it over, if you heard them tell it over the last few years, right?
Yeah.
I would agree with that too. And I think that this last season is extremely flawed.
Yeah.
And so they put me in a weird position of, well, because it's none of the reasons most of the people are saying, you know what I mean?
Right.
And of course it's just my opinion, but yeah, like, well, that's not true and that's not wrong and that's not what bad writing means. I don't even know why you keep saying that,
Yeah.
But also, like, there are a lot of issues. I do think some of the sets in this last season, even though they've had the biggest budget they've ever had, I've never said this, but it's not even the way that people are saying it online. It's just, for me, it's like some of the background of like the upside down homes and stuff, the vines and stuff just look less real to me than they ever have. It looks sometimes like a stage production with like they pulled them from First Shadow and just like wheeled them out there. And
They might have.
I do think some of the performances are rougher than they've ever been. And
There's a lot more green screen than there used to be, for sure.
Yeah.
Production has changed.
But
I think that just comes with the territory of you're spending 90% of your story in the Upside Down or Dimension X.
yeah, we're spending a lot more time in there.
Yeah.
But I have some things to say about that too. I'm sorry to cut you off. I just feel very
No.
passionately about
Like
this
you're
too.
right. Like there are definitely criticisms you can have against towards the season, but I mean, pull that aside. So going into this episode for tonight, I had unplugged from the internet for the last couple of days because I just wasn't in the headspace for it. This year's been rough, and December is always a really rough time. And so I was like, I can't with this. And then right before we sat down to watch, my dog's ass starts bleeding out of nowhere. So we're dealing with that while taking notes. And poor Erica's up there babysitting him and making sure he's okay. Maybe we got to take him to the vet after this. I don't know. So a lot of craziness is going into this. But I got to say, the beginning of the episode, I feel some of the sidelining on Hopper. There are a couple scenes that do feel a little flat or not quite as great. I don't think the green screening or the compositing in Dimension X looks great all the time. And Joyce is just kind of like, every now and then Joyce would wander into a shot, and I forgot she was in there.
I think she did too, though.
It looks like Winona Ryder was like, "What's going on? Is this a movie?" It doesn't look great. Hop, what's going on?
That kind of acting is not what everybody's used to, especially,
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, acting to a tennis ball and that kind of stuff. That's a specific kind
Yeah.
that
and
not everybody can pull off super effectively.
Exactly. But all
So
that
shout
to
out
say,
to Zoe Saldana. Anyway, go on.
set up Avatar.
She hasn't seen a real thing in 20 years.
That's true.
Between that and Marvel.
That's true. But all that to say, all the emotional beats, and that's what this show is. It's a character is the most important thing about this show. Because there were some crazy plot lines in all 5 seasons of the show. What matters is the characters. Do they feel real? Are we spending enough time with them? Do we feel the financial payoff for them? And I think everyone, for the most part, had a pretty damn solid send-off. And it was like, Andy, I was in tears for so much of this episode.
I don't think you meant financial payoff, right?
Emotional payoff.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure they got paid.
I'm sure
well.
they get, yeah. Hopefully they did. Hopefully they did. Like I'm glad that they didn't do the thing. And I can see so many people being mad about this tomorrow where it's like, oh, they didn't kill anybody. Mm-hmm. That's never what the show is. We talked about this at length back in season 4 when we were like, who's going to die? And I was always saying they're not going to kill the main characters. They might kill one of them, like a Murray or somebody, but they're not going to kill any of the main characters.
That's so close.
Because that's not what this show is. It's not what it's ever been. That's not bad writing. And if you just give people fan service, that's okay too. It service me. I'm a fan, right? And I think where the characters all end up is poetic. I mean, that scene when the actors are literally saying goodbye to their characters. They've got their character notebooks that have their names on them, and they're putting them back on the shelf, literally saying goodbye to Dustin, to Lucas, to Will, to Max, to Mike. Like, how else would you want that to end? It's beautiful. It's perfect. It reminds me of letting go of your own childhood in a way, because time is a bastard. Time is time, but it's also a bastard. You have to let go sometimes. And I think the last half of this episode is so amazing. It's exactly what I wanted to see with focusing on the characters and the big reveals of the Flayer being out there. All that stuff is really cool, fun, sci-fi. It's a little rushed, I think, but overall, I was having a great time. The music choices were great. I felt every moment. I love this episode quite a lot. It's one of my favorite episodes, I think, of the show.
I'm a big fan of how this ended in the macro. And I think that, and this is the kind of thing that's hard for me to explain in a 2-minute TikTok video, right? So I have to kind of like lean one side, and then I get whoever doesn't agree with me or doesn't think they do, based on their misunderstanding of what I said, being upset or whatever. Because I do see a lot of like seams and cracks and a little bit of rushing. I think, oh God,
he's made riffs.
I think, I loved like the kaiju and stuff, but at the same time, I don't care. And it's not the fault of the show for not establishing stakes or something like that. It's like, that's not what I'm here for. I think the show lost its way when they became something else, and I laud them for becoming different things. But like the first season is so perfect. It's this small, wonderful little weird ode to a time and space and era, and specifically in storytelling, that they wanted to kind of bring back and let everybody reminisce together and tell it within that structure, a really unique story about these kids. And it works really well in isolation. And then the second one works because it's like, oh, and then they would do the S on the end, and then you get this kind of shit, right? But it was like a little less than, as sequels often are. And then 3, they were like, well, let's do Red Dawn and, blow it up and make it happy because it's never been the summer before. And it's great, but it's different. I just think they increasingly lost but each time they brought in 2, 3 new characters, And I think 4 for me was so refreshing because what they had never done is just kind of make it adult and brutally violent in the new direction that they took with the late 80s, just as late 80s film did, was so like metal and different and whoa, that it was like really, really awesome. But now they added 2 or 3 more characters, And so I think they've got this finale where you've got not the 4 kids and a couple of their parents and not the older kids. So 16, 17, fleshed out characters that you need to send off, right? And so I found the internet losing their minds over whether or not they would get the answers to the Floops Fluglies and where they came from. And I'm like, I don't care. I'm like, the tough writing trick is to send everyone's fave off in a satisfying way. And I remember it reminded me, and I think it purposefully reminds me of this multiple times in this episode, of Return of the King. Mm-hmm. I remember being a little kid sitting in in the theater with, I think, Andy.
Mm-hmm. My brother took us.
And
oh, come on.
Every time it faded to black in an epilogue, eventually people were like throwing their hands up angry because back then you had to go to movies at midnight and it was 4 something in the morning, you know?
Yeah.
And it just had to be that way because there's so much to wrap up, motherfuckers. You know what I mean? Like it's just, you want me to just leave you hanging?
You don't want this good shit?
And I love, like you said, Steve, I'm rambling here because I'm trying to, so like in the macro, I love when I close my eyes and I think of season 1, where it started, 2016, who I was as a person, and now knowing how the book closes, I'm satisfied. And I think it's lovely, right? Now, in the minutia of, this effect, this line of dialogue, this delivery, a lot of it was a bummer, right? But to the things that really matter, I was a bawling mess. I think not only did they send the characters themselves off really well, I think they closed the book on their initial mission statement really well. What they did was they, in the basement that I lived in at that time, they took me to really before I was even born, but the things that I grew up on because of older siblings and being poor and having older stuff to look at all the time. I grew up on Sword in the Stone and Dick Tracy and
Dick Tracy.
Antenna cable TV where I'm watching like reruns of 80s shows and shit. All this. So that is
Peanut
still
butter poppers.
We had Little Debbie's. Thank you. And so they transported me there and I got to watch this stuff. And now that I am so much older, and so much more prone to like meditating on this kind of thing anyway, I got to be just slapped in the face, knocked the fuck out by this passing of the torch of remembering when everybody went off to college and my childhood was gone. And I don't remember the exact day, but at some point I knew it was never going to be the same. For good or ill, it was gone, right? And it was like this, oh shit, I wasn't paying attention. My parents always told me you better pay attention. Life's too short. And I was like, shut up, old bitch. And now I should have paid attention. It's gone. It's like sand in my hands, Yeah. And it took me back there more than anything about Dustin or anything like that. It was like, it was a crazy feeling. And wow, that they can do that, right?
Yeah.
And it makes me sad. This is going to sound so fucking condescending. It makes me sad, that every top 10 S tier to D tier obsessed young lad is going to miss that feeling because they were focused on something else or wondering where the Floop Fluglies came from and stuff, And I was just gobsmacked by like when Sadie Sink started crying and it looked so real.
I'm convinced that was real. They were all.
I mean, all those kids grew up on that show. They got to have
on set
intense feelings there about leaving that, and Caleb McLaughlin and Sadie Sink and Gaten Matarazzo, I think, are all 3 of like the strongest actors there, and they all have that theater background, especially Sadie and Gaten that I'm aware of, and I don't know.
Caleb does too.
It just fucking wrecked me, and reminded me of, and it just happens over and over in life. So when you enter adulthood, you're like, oh no. And then at the end of your 20s, you're like, oh no. And then you have kids and then your kids go through things and you lose touch with your friends in your 30s and you go, oh no. And then you lose the save file in one of your games and you go, oh no. And it just never stops until eventually you die. And then everyone else is like, oh no. And I'm assuming I'm not feeling that way, but maybe I'm just floating away like fucking Henry, like getting struck by lightning. Like,
oh no, this is it.
This is terrible. So I don't know if that rambling, incoherent, crying mess made any sense, but I mean, there's so much heart. Everything. This is going to sound crazy. I would take everything from the 40-minute epilogue is my favorite. You know what I mean?
Same.
That is my favorite part of this episode by far, when the town is normal and we're seeing what's going on and we just have these characters. And it just reminds me that had there never been any magic, I would have still loved this show because these people were in it. Mm-hmm. And that, I think, is the litmus test. If you take the superpowers out of the MCU, would you watch it? Maybe. I'm not going to answer that for each and every person for themselves. I probably wouldn't. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And can you do that with all these other things? And would you sit with these people like that, especially for a TV show versus like a movie? That's so much more important, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
And I just loved these people. And not only that, I was also weeping, and I am now, because this sounds so stupid to so many people probably. This show changed my whole life. I had several podcasts prior to this, but I was rolling dough, make a minimum wage at a pizzeria, and I called Andy and I said, I think we should start another podcast. And God bless him, he didn't say why. Are our 3 listeners missing us for something that I'm unaware of? He said, okay, what are you thinking? And I said, I like Stranger Things. We both do. Let's do streaming things. And then we can talk about other shows when it's over, because it's pretty generically called everything streaming nowadays.
Yeah.
Because back then that was a new idea.
It was a great idea.
And that's how I met you, Steve. You're one of my dearest friends in the world. And Andy's like, I know a guy that could probably be good for the pod. And then we started recording this. And now, because I started my TikTok, and I was always writing blogs and stuff back then to advertise for the podcast. And that didn't work. So I started just talking about my own movie reviews and stuff. And then, this year, 2025, I met Tom Cruise, and I was in France, and I was in the Bahamas, and I was in Curacao, and I didn't see the ocean until I was 28. So this isn't like small things for me. I sat and talked with Danny Boyle for 20 minutes, and I made fun of Kraven the Hunter, and he laughed, and my whole life is vastly different than it was when the 3 of us sat on my shitty couch in that basement, even though we all just sat upstairs on a couch and watched Stranger Things still. Everything is different. And it's all because of this, And then when the credits started rolling for what is the last time, now we cover dozens of other shows. It shouldn't have mattered as much, but it just felt like I was transported back to when, I had kids that weren't born yet, and I had a different spouse, and I had a different house and a way different job. And it kind of goes in lines with the theme of this show that, like every time you're putting that book back on the shelf, you don't know if it's going to be for the last time, I got to drive home at midnight on New Year's Eve.
If you're lucky.
Yeah, that's
This
scary.
might be the last time, Steve.
I'm not looking forward to that.
I'm going to be out there like fucking Mario Kart. Give me some bananas.
Well, I got a blue shell for you if you need it.
Thank you. I don't know if that made any sense, but
No, dude, that makes total sense.
Yes, there's so many flaws. And yes, I loved it. And I'm sorry for people who can't understand how those two things can coexist, know? And yes, it's because I'm biased. Everyone is. If you're not watching it emotionally, then God help you. That's the only purpose of these stories,
Yeah. Yeah.
So what did you think of the episode?
I do have thoughts. I think I'll get ahead of some emails and ask you guys a few questions. Do you think that 11, Jane Hopper, is alive? And don't get smart with me and say, does it matter? Because that is the obvious answer.
Yes, I do think that she's alive.
You believe?
I believe. I don't know how I feel about the logistics of her sneaky getaway. She is ill-equipped to handle 9th grade. So I don't know how well equipped she is to.
I think she's so well equipped. She was hiding out in the woods from the government since she was like 11.
World travel
Literally.
to Sweden and
How'd she get a passport?
learn the new language. And
She probably jumped.
You just jump on a boat.
No, she jumped all the way to Sweden.
Wait, that
I
too?
do wish that we had gotten to see her
Mario
fucking
jumping
Mario
down.
hop her way up into
So,
the.
so here, I'll get my criticisms out of the way. I wasn't like jokingly, but I was legit super bummed that they yada yada'd her getting up there in favor of that dun dun that they always do where she shows up.
Yeah.
I wanted to see that. I think we deserved to see that because we saw all the training and we did get to see her jump over the military fence, but like this is a new level, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she used her parkour a little bit, like running up to the mind flare.
And then they yada yada'd them all getting down.
Yeah, oh yeah, totally.
You had all those children climb down that radio tower and you didn't let me see Derek going, fuck!
It's just 11 holding him like, boing, just bouncing like Mario with all the kids one at a
I
time.
assume they climbed down the tower,
Yeah, that has to be that.
Or maybe they all jumped like Holly and then 11 caught them at the end. That'd be,
That'd be fucking
all right,
wild.
guys, we're going skydiving. Woo! Fuck, I dropped Debbie. Nobody cares. Shut up, Derek. That was one big thing.
I think 11 definitely is alive because they did the thing, and Erica called this out, but they did the thing that they always do when a character you think is dead but isn't dead. They play a montage set to Heroes. Now, in the past, it's been Peter Gabriel's version of Heroes.
Sad one. Yeah.
But they used the right version this time, the Rightside Up version, if you will, the one by David Bowie. And so because they...
It's a happier
version. So I think because they played that song, that is an intentional choice to cue you in that, yes, 11 is still alive.
It's the tunnel song, Perks of Being a Wallflower.
And I went on a roller coaster with that. And this will make the recap faster, I guess, if I touch on a few things here at the top. Because this is the stuff people want to hear about, right up front. This is what their brains are locked on.
Yeah.
When she was first in there, and it was like, I saw them kind of focus on the kryptonite hedgehogs. But I was like, yeah, I know that she's not going to be able to use her powers. You know what I mean? Or whatever I thought that meant at the time. Doesn't matter. When I was like, oh, they're killing her, I was furious. But not in like, oh, they got me kind of way. But it was like, I'm not going to like this. Everybody's going to hate our podcast because I'm not going to lie. And I'm like actively angry.
You wouldn't like that she was going to sacrifice herself in that moment? Is that what you mean?
Correct.
Okay.
Because again, I've said it many times on every platform I have. I just don't think that's the true end to this character. I don't think that's fair to do to a child who's never been known peace or happiness, but in brief moments, right?
And you've got Hopper who pretty much says exactly what you feel the whole time. Like,
yes.
You've had the worst life. You deserve to have a happy end.
And I love that she said, no, this is my choice. And that was like an arc for him. I'm not Sarah. I think that was profound. But at the same time, he's right. You know what I mean? Dad's always right? And it's like you're 17. You don't kamikaze right now. Like that's not fair. And not only that, but they've done that beat at the end of season 1. And they kind of redid it here, the whole thing. But so then anyway, when Mike is in that D&D game, which I thought was so beautiful that it ended with a D&D game. Because there's parts of yourself that never change. That's just immutably you. And he mentioned the mage. I was so tickled that I thought they were going to leave it there. And not everybody was going to catch that he wrote this story. He spent countless hours crafting this campaign for them where the secret mage comes and saves the day. It's like an ode to her. You know what I mean? And I was like still mourning her, but also like, oh, that's beautiful that they put that in. That'll be cool to talk about later.
Yeah.
And then when he was like, because guys, I was like, wait, and I'm thinking about how long Kali is laying there bleeding out for this plan. And it was losing me, But then when I saw her hiking through and everybody said, I believe, and I love that they left it a little bit ambiguous in my opinion. I like it so much more that I get to believe that, and like, I thank them for doing that, I resent them for the amount of videos I'm going to have to watch. But
she ended up in a place with 3 waterfalls.
But it was a roller coaster. But I ultimately think I really love that choice. And I do think there's a huge plot hole, though. Everybody loves plot holes online.
Let's hear it.
One thing they did not wrap up that they could have, and if they did it a different way. Also, I have another question I might want to ask first. No, I ask it second. We've established from outside canon and within this show that, combined together, that it was just a human being existing in the abyss, otherwise known as Dimension X, that gives their makeup their body makeup at a cellular level a quality that allows for the magical powers, right?
Yeah, that's what we thought.
You think it wasn't that? It was just because the mind flayer was in Henry. It wasn't.
Yeah, because it showed that piece of the mind flayer, wherever that came from, went into his bullet wound and into him directly. So I think because he
So why was Brenner's dad, his blood so different?
I don't know, maybe they got that original piece out of his dad. Maybe that's part
In
of
his ass? He keistered that shit in his prison pocket to hide it?
Carried that shit. for
That's
40
good. I
years.
like that you fixed that because I was going to say then all of those kids would be superpowered
like
kids.
Nancy and
Yeah.
Jonathan.
And everyone who went in there, right?
Yeah.
And 11's sacrifice would be for naught if they didn't like kind of. So I thought they were going to do a when the mind flayer dies, all traces are gone and 11 wouldn't have any powers anymore and so on and so forth. And when they didn't do that, I was like, oh, then you do have to kill the kids.
Yeah.
Debbie's got to
Kinda all of
go.
They also
Interesting.
Did they bomb all the pregnant ladies in the
Yeah.
upside
Yeah.
down?
Hopefully they were.
fucking
Hopefully they were.
yeah. Holy shit, dude! There were like 30 of them.
So we didn't even see them all.
Yeah, we didn't
God
see all that.
damn.
That hallway went on forever.
Hopefully they were terminal, and that's what we were supposed to take from their state.
Yeah, they were.
That makes it
sick.
a
It
little
was
easier.
killing them. Yeah, her blood was killing them. She did say that.
It was a euthanasia bomb.
Okay.
They
yeah.
also we never saw Dr. K again after 11's sacrifice.
Yeah, we got no
Then
rap on that.
nothing, which that felt like a pretty drastic disappointment because Linda Hamilton has such kind eyes that I thought at
beautiful
some
eyes.
I thought at some point like has been nothing menacing about her performance as Dr. K. Not shitting on her as an actress. I think that she's wonderful. I just don't think that she was right for this role. So every time like it cut to her looking at people, I'm like, oh, she's gonna be a good guy, maybe. I don't know, because she's not
Other than the torturing all the pregnant women.
she's not acting very bad anytime she pops
felt
up on
really
screen.
bad about it.
Anyway,
Yeah, she did. She was
to
bummed.
get nothing,
is-
no kind of payoff at the end of like her like. Previous seasons, we got like Murray cracking a beer, sitting on the side of the road, waving at all the army people after his cassette tape released and lit the world on
It's
fire.
Murray
you know?
at her like military trial, just like ha ha ha,
Right.
you're guilty. Ha ha ha.
Yeah, we didn't really get a payoff for Murray, did we? Which is a little surprising, but
We can assume he's being weird somewhere.
yeah, he got his hero
definitely is.
moment.
He's probably
which
helping
was cool,
Steve teach
but,
sex ed, and I don't know why that's okay, kind of thing.
Yeah.
He's not allowed near that school. Let's be honest. I can understand
John
why.
Coltrane.
I can totally understand why someone would be not thrilled with how Dr. K doesn't get any comeuppance, But I think that works with what they were trying to. I don't know how successful they were, but
The
they
most
have.
realistic part of the show.
Yeah, they were trying to set up like she's
She'll
not
probably
the
be
problem.
president.
It's the government's desire to have these super soldiers. That's the problem. So if you take that away, then Dr. K is rendered ineffective and you don't have to worry about them, which I don't really necessarily agree with because what else is she going to get into? But still, like, I think that's what they were going for. I don't know how effective it is. It doesn't really bother me so much because I love Little Hamilton. I don't want anything bad to happen to her and her beautiful eyes.
My last question before we do the scene by scene recap was related to mine. My last question, rather. Do you think that people which is most people, aren't on this level of nerd, didn't go see the first Shadow, didn't, rip a YouTube copy of it and brush up on it, didn't read about it,
Whoa, sir.
would understand the backstory just by watching the show? Would they know? Because I don't think they know about Brenner's dad or anything. Do they get that? Oh, Henry found a piece of the abyss and the mind flayer, and it got into him. You know what I mean? Like Will kind of did some expository things, but I'm not sure they would. How did he get that piece? They might have
What was that
questions.
secret stone? Where did that come from? And I don't know if it matters. It's like a zombie movie. I don't need to know where the zombie came
Well,
from.
Frank
just that
getting off
zombies are
work
here.
and watching the Stranger Things, trying to it matters to him. you know?
Sure. Yeah. I don't know. I guess
What's
it
that guy's
depends
briefcase?
on how these people are choosing to engage with the show. Like you can take anything and say like, well, where the fuck did the lightsaber come from? You know what I mean? Like it just any kind of a MacGuffin is a MacGuffin. You know what I mean? And so like, I think that they just all we needed to get out of that scene was like you weren't born with it. You were a kid that stumbled into this, just like the rest of us. Is all we needed out of that. And
You're just a vessel too.
But 1,000,000% there's going to be people that are like, well, where the fuck did The Rock come from? You know, but like, I don't, it doesn't matter.
The Rock will return in Stranger Things prequel.
And it's literally Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Yeah.
I'm the Mind Flayer.
Clangin' and bangin', clangin' and a bangin'.
And I loved that scene, that performance that Jimmy Kimmel Bower's giving when he's like trying to fight off Will and also deal with his demons, working his way into that cave. So fucking powerful, dude. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. So fucking good. So good.
Yeah. He was amazing in that scene.
I don't know. What do you think, Steve? Is the world at large going to appreciate how Henry got his powers? Or I think the average Joe Schmo that isn't terminally online will be able to just write it off. But I think that there's going to be 1 million people online going ham on it. And I think that people color their perspectives often when they see other people go so hard on something.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think at this point, there are so many voices that have been arguing in bad faith online already that I think it was already written that no matter what the show did, people were going to find the smallest of holes and create all sorts of content on YouTube and try to get clicks off of those points, even though they don't really matter. Like you said, like I think for me, I have watched the play. I do know the backstory. The Rock thing is interesting. I think that's a new development because I don't think the play actually says like it's a rock. They just talk about going to Dimension X and your blood's different. So that is new. So I think if you didn't watch the play and you saw this and you saw it go into his blood, I think if anything, it makes it like they won't have the problem that you just had, Kid, where it was like, well, what about Brenner's dad? Like they won't have that connection. They'll just know like, oh, Rocco in Henry bad now, Mind Flayer in Henry now. But I just know like the next day you're gonna have like a bunch of videos that
The Rock explained. And they're trying to explain Dwayne The Rock Johnson, and they just can't do it.
Yeah.
That is a fun explanation for the costume design choice of him having the one super fucked up hand.
Oh, because it got shot.
Yeah,
it went in there.
That's where all his pain comes from, where the Mind Flayer originally got
Also,
in.
that kid.
Also, the kid.
Sorry.
You say your thing.
Well, it's dumb. He's a bad motherfucker. You know what I mean?
He is a bad mother. I love the
Eagle Scout.
The makeup choice where he gets the blood on his face, and then from the rest of that scene on, the way he's lit and with the blood on his face, he does actually kind of look like Vecna's scarred up face, like he became Vecna in that moment. I think that's such a cool makeup choice for sure.
Yeah, but to take a bullet and then bash a guy's head in with a rock, that's not every kid's reaction to taking a bullet.
Yeah, and then
that's
he's
not
like,
every 38-year-old Steve's reaction to taking a bullet.
And then he loots the body. You know what I mean? He's like, "What's in here?"
Well, you got to be at that point. You're like, "Why'd you? What? Yeah."
The best part is he loots the body, and then the guy's like, "Hit the control." He's like, "Ah!" and just like blows his head off.
And then he's like, "Oh my god, I did that! I'm gonna go do that to a squirrel immediately." It all makes sense now. Do that again, type shit. Yeah. Okay. Interesting stuff. Let's go through the scene by scene, the play by play, and see what we can get out of there. At the end, we'll talk about all the 80s pop culture references, the Easter Eggos, the music, our favorite performances, our favorite moments, all that stuff. It's coming up ahead on streaming things. But before we do any of that, we've got to take a brief break to hear from one of our sponsors. And we're back, and Netflix describes The Rightside Up thusly. As Vecna prepares to destroy the world as we know it, the party must put everything on the line to defeat him once and for all.
Pretty good.
And it starts, in many ways, with the gate. The soldiers all roll into it, into the upside down, get some, or whatever they say, right? I loved that. There's so many moments. Andy talked about all the flashbacks and stuff that you may or may not think are a little bit overdone. They've done them all throughout the show. I do think as a send-off to the last decade of this, titan of television, a lot of it, if not all of it, really worked for me. But also, I've noticed it before, but there's this moment where Dr. K, I think, is standing as they all drive through the gate. She's just standing next to Melvald's. And we get to see how everything, and that's the same spot on the street where Jonathan was angry at Joyce in season 1 for acting so crazy and making Will's death worse for him. And they had that big argument where they both walked opposite ways. And, I just was immediately, as soon as we turned this episode on, like, fuck, we've come so far,
Yeah. And then they go into a Radio Shack where Bob used to work, all that stuff.
But the soldier is being the one that works at the gate is being accused of having let our favorite characters in, right? You open the gate. How else would you have done it, right? But Dr. K, she's got his back. She sees the shortwave radio kit. I guess they're able to like reverse engineer that. How else would they locate Erica and Mr. Clark? I was shocked when they showed up
away, so they're probably like, huh? Oh,
there.
hey.
That's a high enough point.
I mean, this whole season, you could argue the military hasn't once looked at the high point of the church and be like, maybe we should like keep that locked down so kids aren't spying on us all the time.
I'm surprised they were still there, just hanging out, cussing.
God damn. Hanging out and cussing.
So
It's a good Friday night when you're a kid.
yeah, and when you're a teacher.
Yo, I learned some new words today. You guys ready to hear them? Let's put them on for size.
Murray opens up the truck for the gang inside the Upside Down. Mike checks in on 11 and tells her, hey, look, one last fight, which everyone says. Vecna says that a lot, but Hopper says it, Mike says it.
Last fight.
It's just the marketing, right? And this whole nightmare will be over. Hang in there, 11, right? We cut to Akers and his wolf pack. They're out there watching him.
Wolf pack. Oh,
Shh, don't alert that crazy doctor. We're going to handle this shit. Because he didn't like getting bullied around by her, you know? Don't involve her. We're going to handle this.
She got Sullivan all burnt up.
Yeah, look what
and I
happened.
like that guy.
Yeah, he was my friend.
Which, how wild is it that Sullivan was such a big menacing force in season 4, and then he's just really not in season 5. He's kind of around. He gets burnt up, and he's like, "Yeah, they were monsters." And then we don't see him ever
That
again.
is crazy.
Well, they just wanted another like 80s star to bring in. And so they basically gave Linda Hamilton his job.
Yeah. He didn't tell anyone where Dr. Owens is. That guy's still locked in a hotbox
And
somewhere.
we don't know about Dr. O.
Yeah.
Henry is with the kids in his power circle.
Light as a feather,
Stiff as a board. Light as a feather. Stiff as a board. Doing their thing.
Oh my God, is it you, Thomas? Are you doing it? Be real with me. Seriously, are you doing it? Is this happening for real? Thomas, don't fuck with me.
Who farted? We see them all with their tubes, like in the, well, not the real world, but in the abyss, right? Where they really are. And then that heartbeat above where Vecna is hanging out starts to increase. Oh, it's going good. It's going good. The cracks start to widen. The breach, between the dimensions. It's working.
And you can see
it's
like
working.
the bottom of the rock starting to slowly get lower.
It's penetrating.
Yeah.
There's a really cool shot showing the Upside Down from the top down. That was neat.
That was upside down from the top down.
Yeah.
And then we get the last title screen of all time. Andy clocked that there were no actual credits in this. No actors' names.
Yeah, that was
It's a weird version of it. Well, they saved them for the end. It's a
Yeah.
movie. They put this shit in theaters.
It's a
Oh, that's
movie.
true.
Mr. Clark is worried about the gang, and Erica does some great math to predict that they got about a half a mile head start. I don't know if that truck's legitimately faster than Humvees, military Humvees, but I don't know. I'm not a car guy.
Yeah, me either.
It did surprise me though. It's just a box truck.
The real shit hasn't started yet.
I have kicked a U-Haul up to pretty fast speeds before, but
Just taking off some sweet jumps.
I did.
hit 30, 35
flip.
miles an hour.
And she says the real shit hasn't started yet. He corrects her language, but then says, you know what? It feels so goddamn swell to save the world.
The situation demands cussing.
That made so many people upset. You probably missed this because you're blissfully not chronically online, but there was a large, after volume 1 came out, there was a comically large subset of conservative religious people.
I think we talked about this.
Did we really?
Yeah, because I saw that and I was laughing at some of
Because those videos had like 400,000 likes.
What
and
were
I
they
saw
upset
10
about?
of them. That the word goddamn was used so many times. This show used to be something cool, and it used to be special and good, and a nice good family show where they suck people's eyeballs into the back of their skulls and rip their limbs. And now they just got to take the Lord's name in vain repeatedly for no reason.
Okay.
It was like people were really upset about it. And then when he said that, I was like, ooh, they're going to be so mad. They brought Mr. Clark into their demon world.
Well, they're already bullying Mr. Clark online anyway, so
Oh, that's where you drew a list.
I did. I honestly, that's when I was like, I'm done with the internet. When
I'm out.
people are bullying Mr. Clark,
I didn't
No,
see any
thank
of
I
that.
said good day.
yeah,
I
because
didn't see that.
Have you seen the big thing where people are like doing release the Snyder cut, but it's release the Volume 2 Stranger Things cut?
Yeah, and that cut that doesn't exist.
Yeah, the cut that well, he
Like always.
he went on Instagram and he's like, guys, that doesn't exist. They're like, fuck you, Mr. Clark.
What were you there?
Oh,
What, did you read the original script? Have you been here the whole time or something?
yeah. I'm just saying, monsters.
We need a whistleblower. Where's Benny?
So release the Stranger Things Volume 2 cut does not roll off the tongue like Snyder cut. Just cut your losses now, guys.
Speaking of cut it out. But the soldiers start to show up where Mr. Clark and Erica are at the church there. But also Dr. K notices the WSQK truck, the radio station van, parked outside. Curious.
I don't like that one.
That was an oversight. We cut to Vicky at the radio station.
She was just thinking like, but they're always broadcasting our guidelines.
That's right.
To WSQK.
And Vicky is radioing to try to make sure that flicker wasn't more monsters, which was funny. And then they get our gang gets to the radio tower in the Upside Down to start their plan. They start to climb up to the top of the radio tower.
Pace yourselves, guys.
Murray is, I like that there's little platforms to rest on the way up. That is nice. I don't know if that's how they really are, but that should be if not. Murray's filling the generator.
Tired, dude. That's a lot of ladder steps.
I thought Murray was filling the radio tower generator. I'm an idiot. I'm like, they want to start Upside Down Radio. I get it. But
It's Rockin' Robin, Vecna. Are you ready for the Billboard's Top 5?
We're coming for you.
he's filling the generator at the lab. Of course he is. Hopper and Elle are looking for the tank. They find the famed tank. Kali's there. And then 11 of course has a flashback, which I think is important for her character, but is also a fun way for us to see some old stuff.
Oh my God. For a brief second, I thought it was a new scene with Dr. Brenner and I got really excited, but I
You
think
did like jump, but I thought it was
jumped.
just at seeing him.
well, it was that, but also because I thought they brought him back for an extra scene, but then like my brain was like, oh, okay, buddy, come on. It's just a flashback. It's reused footage. I was like, oh man, I thought we got Marty.
You thought it was like new footage used as a flashback, to be clear. You didn't think he was there.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that'd be fun.
I've been here the whole time.
It's a little needs redecorating.
Surprise.
You left me in the desert, but I came down here and built exotic matter.
I called the contractor because the floors are melting.
Not supposed to do that.
No, I need my money back at the very least. Murray gets the power on. There's a great bald eagle reference, which of course was his call sign in season 3. Hopper runs through the plan and the various signals that he's going to use with Elle. 2 slow knocks means, hey, get shit moving.
The abyss is coming down.
It's rocking. 3 quick knocks means kill that motherfucker because we're almost going to die.
Do it.
It's a very tight window there. And he pulls her aside and he says, promise me, she says, promise me you won't pull me out, not until I'm sure he's dead. And he says, okay, well, make me a promise. You know, Dr. K and her, he knows he's a dad, you know, like Dr. K and her plans. That's a problem for another day. Deal? Right. And she begrudgingly half agrees ish. And then she's lowered into the tank as she always is. And I love that Kali, who we've never seen. It's fine. I'm able to be like, oh, of course she can kind of do something similar to this. She like closes her eyes and gives people illusions and stuff. But we've never seen her like transmit her consciousness or anything like that in the way that is now necessary, or it seems it is.
She's
piggybacking.
She piggybacked into 11 in one of the previous episodes, didn't she?
Of this season, I think so.
Yeah. Where she's like, you never done this. Oh yeah. They're like, hi sister or whatever. Never done this before, have we?
That's how they wrote it in.
Yeah.
It just was funny seeing her put the blindfold on. Like, you don't do that. That's her thing. You're stealing her thing.
Yeah, I don't think it's that much of a leap to say she could do
No.
that. Because, I mean, all the other kids in the Rainbow Room and Papa's numbers, they had the same powers as 11 to varying degrees. I just took it that Callie could do stuff like that, but that's not her thing. She's like, that's what Dr. Brenner wants us to do, and I'm not going to conform to what he wants me to do. I'm going to do the mind trick thing, and that's going to be my thing.
It's totally fine. It's just that to me, it is very obviously a product of, we had a way different world building intention when we created Kali, and now they're just all Henry Lights, you know? So it's fine, but that's the evidence of that I see, that awkwardness. And then through movie magic, it is now 2026.
Hey!
Time has passed.
It's new.
Oh my God, the stem came off of my drink.
That happened to Erica upstairs.
Chug her bust.
Yeah, we took a break to watch the ball drop. while we were recording.
It has dropped.
And it is now 2026. We are now wiser, older.
Full of hope.
The first episode of Streaming Things that took 2 years to record.
That's right.
Andy made that joke. I stole it.
Oh,
Hey, man, that's just how it goes.
wow. Hey, we had to complete our vision boards, but we're back. We go to Mike and Will. They're resting as they climb up that radio tower. And Mike essentially takes the time to touch base with Will. You know, I think it's important that we get the two of them alone to discuss Will's revelation and his coming out, and then we get this comedic beat where Mike says it came out wrong and he realizes with the verbiage, he's like, wow. And Will's laughing and stuff. And he says, hey, I should have been there for you more. And Will says, no, you have nothing to be sorry about. I just hope you're still my friend. And he's like, that sounds so awful. I want to be your best friend.
Yeah. I'm glad they acknowledge what I've always said about the Mike Wheeler of it all is he was like, I was too self-absorbed. I didn't see anything. I'm like, yeah, he was.
To be clear, I'm still the heart.
The heart.
I think you should continue to paint me. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's good. It was a good moment. Max calms Vicky down back in the radio station. Vicky's talking about how stress gives her the munchies, but also the copious amount of marijuana. And then Vicky disappears, but quite literally all of a sudden. And at this moment, I don't know what you guys were thinking. I know that it was her plan to go in there, but I was like, is she back in the Vecna?
I was scared for a second. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the way the music cue works as well, because the music's like really awesome in the scene, but it makes you kind of think like, oh no, did Vecna find her again? Oh, that's right. They had this whole plan and I just forgot about it.
Yeah, that was a choice to it was just a part of the plan that we weren't in on.
We knew that because she said, I'll go with you, guy. Nobody knows his mind better than me, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess you're right. So
I thought it was really cool the way they revealed it because like she's wheeling away like, hey, I want cereal or whatever. And then she's like, what the fuck? Actually, all of them work, you know?
A miracle.
Yeah. She never goes outside. She just starts hanging out in there. But she realizes she can move her arms. She stands. There's water on the ground because the void is always wet.
I love that shot of
void is always wet.
The void WSQK logo is so neat. And they're like, hey, it's pretty trippy. I just feel so bad for Vicky in this moment because she gets her num-nums, her cereal, and she's like, hey, Max.
Not only that, but if you think about it, the soldiers that are holding Mike at the end of the episode, for a minute, he was just standing between them, seizing out. You know what I mean? And they don't show that, but that had to be what happened from their point of view.
Right.
They're like, hey, kid. Oh, God. Is he all right?
I didn't do it. Wasn't me.
Yeah.
Swear to God.
The guy that opened the gate and stuff. He's like, I'm going to get yelled at again.
Are you diabetic?
Yeah. Give me an orange and some peanut butter. Max.
Isn't that dude who got in trouble for opening the gate? That's the guy that was being mean to Derek, right? When Derek turned himself in, there was that one guy like, hey, motherfucker, I know you're a child, but I'm coming at you real hard.
Yeah, I'm not going to check your lunchbox, but I am going to fucking hit him on the back of the head. Yeah. Nerd. Yeah, Vicky comes back to trance Max and Max in a trance rather. And Max is in the void at this point. 11 and Collie are there. I love the beat where 11's like, hi. Then the gang gets to the very top of the tower. What a view. They're all impressed. And the sky is, in fact, coming down as they theorized. Oh, no. Murray radios Hopper that 11 better be close to doing what she needs to do. And the girls, meanwhile, Max, Collie, and 11, they find Vecna in the abyss.
What happened to the bats?
They're in the abyss. In the mind. This is 11's mind.
No. The when the gang makes it up to the top of the spire, and
we haven't seen the bats. They're not there anymore.
Demogorgons ain't there.
You know what Vecna probably thought? I thought the bats were going to be effective, and look what happened. I'm done. I'm firing all the bats.
Eddie took them all out.
Yeah, all the bats died in the previous season. He didn't worry about making new ones because he was operating in the Dimension X abyss and just figured no one could get to him. So why even have bats? Because he's safe up there in the sky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, they didn't serve their purpose.
You can see some bats in the very beginning of this season when it's the Will flashback and he's still running from the Demogorgon from season 1. If you look in the sky, there's some bats flying, which just kind of a cool little attention
bats
to detail.
in training.
Nice.
Yeah.
That was like the bat boot camp, the bat camp. Yeah, and then there's some confusion there on Max's part about where they're at, and 11's like, no, this is my mind. Don't worry about it. And they go into Vecna's mind. His hand looks extra squishy, like that was very clearly just like a doll. I just thought it was strange. I just thought it was like the Vecna fuck doll just hanging there.
Oh no, they're gonna make those.
Akers is like, give me that when you're done. But yeah, his mind is wild at first. We get all like the season 4, the Chrissy, wake up, flashback to Chrissy, all the crazy stuff. But then they're all the way back in Vecna's head and the places that Max has been, those memories of like high school, Harrington, all that shit. And they need to hurry through his memories. Max, you said you knew this. We need to get through in like 40 seconds, which is crazy. I don't think Max was under that impression when she
Max,
volunteered.
I thought I had some time to take you through
it
this.
It took me 2 years. Oh no! Wait, I know a quick way.
Hop's already knocking. He's knocking. Can you hear Hop knocking?
We got to go through Eyes Wide Shut, but it's faster. Let's go.
I love that little bit where Max says, like, if we go that way, Joyce is over there. If we go over here, Mr. Wheeler is feeling up Mrs. Wheeler. and Andy was in the living room like, yeah, he is. Just so happy for his boy. When he peaked in high school.
Boots,
no time for sightseeing. Vicky sees the troops rolling up outside of the radio station, so she can't get any snacks. That was her second attempt to snack.
Dang.
So she ultimately hides Max in the secret tunnel. Yeah, because that's where their little hideout is.
I love that bit where Dr. K walks over and sees the, what is that, like a shelf that's in front of the
Tis
doorway?
a shelf.
And she's like, well, tis a shelf. And like, I just love that initial
sense of something awry and was like,
she heard
I have no
her
evidence.
trying to close it, right? But when she looked, there was no evidence because then we see Vicky fully close the door.
No need to investigate.
Well,
yeah. Elle's going to need to stop the whole planet from encroaching within about 30 seconds. Hopper sets his stopwatch, which is really funny to me. All right, 30.
We need a visual cue for
This is how much time I got. And then the girls see the play that I believe Henry was putting on. I believe it's called Dark of the Moon.
Dark of the
Joyce
Moon.
was putting it on.
Yeah, it's Joyce is running, but he was going to be one of the leads in it.
Yeah. And apparently, we'll talk about that in Easter Eggos, what it might be. Max says, just trust me. Wait, because they're like, we can't watch a play right now. We need to save the world. I know you're a theater kid, but this is ridiculous. It would be so funny if it was like Hamilton or something.
Yeah, that's where my head
just
went
watching
to.
it.
How does a bastard orphan son of a whore?
The Schuyler sisters. Eliza. The planet hits the tower. Oh no. And 11 throws Henry in the nick of time, right? They get through their...
She fucking launched him.
You have to get to like a certain point in the play, and then Max knows to open the curtain, and that is the home base, right? It's the shortcut to the heart of his mind.
11 just hops in there and just yeets it.
Yeet. Yeah. Jonathan ends up saving Steve. I think is an incredible moment because it really kind of shocked me. I never really thought Steve was going to die, but I bet there was a 10% part of me that was like, are they going to do the thing? Right?
Are they killing Steve?
What a crazy way to kill Steve.
This is awful.
But yeah, because the planet knocks the top of the tower, everybody gets jostled and the tower kind of breaks halfway and Steve falls off. And he hangs on for a minute. Let's go. It fades to black. It comes back in. And, I think the obvious move is that Dustin's holding him or whatever, right?
That's what you think is going to happen.
Even though he wouldn't be strong enough, you're like, oh, that's his best friend.
No, it's Jaybird. Jaybird to the rescue.
Yeah.
I like that little full circle moment for those two.
Totally.
I do have to say, did the fade to black work with you guys? The fade to black trick is something that Stranger Things has done.
I don't like it.
For a long time. I didn't like it here at all. I thought it would have been more effective if it just like, I saved and it's Jonathan.
It would have been less hammy if they hadn't cut to black,
Yeah.
They really wanted you to make a meal of that. Steve, no.
We're doing the thing. Previously, it has worked for me when they do the cut to black stuff. Like I'm thinking like Hop Explosion season 3 stuff. Like that has worked for me where like you cut to black and then
that's
here's
cool
the shit
because that's
happening.
like a metaphysical event. Maybe the whole world faded to black for a second.
Right.
I don't know.
But yeah, in this case, I don't know if it was necessary. We could have had like a cut to slow-mo for a second and then a hand swooping in.
Not a slow-mo.
That'd be all right.
A Z Snyder?
We have a really shallow focus lens.
It was somebody like a cappella singing in the background. You guys love that,
I forgot about the singing.
Yeah, you guys love that. Zack Snyder, Justice League, masterpiece. You guys aren't ready yet, though.
Maybe 2026 is our year.
That's right. So Jonathan saves Steve. Holly sees Max, after she throws, she yeets Henry, all the kids kind of wake up and Holly's like, Max, you came back for me, right? She's so happy about that. And all the other kids are like, it's the fucking monster. Witch. And she's a ginger.
Curb stomper.
Get her. I choked a girl out earlier. And Holly's like, he did. He did. It's really fucking crazy, actually. But no, Max is like, I'm not the monster and I can prove it. We cut to Nancy first through the breach.
Like Thoros of Myr with his flaming sword at the siege of Pike. Nancy Wheeler always in the
Also
thick of
my
it.
joke that was stolen, but it's okay.
Really?
You can have that one, Steve.
Stealing all
Damn.
of Andy's lines today.
How often does this happen? And I don't know. Steve's turning a new leaf and calling himself out on it. That time Andy had to, though, but like...
I wasn't done monologuing. That's why he called me out.
Gonna cut this off. Yes, but that is a crazy choice that Nancy was like, all right, let's see what the fuck's going on up here.
Crazy choice
Oh, I can't
or
breathe.
the correct choice?
I can't breathe.
Oh yeah, she's just in space.
Yeah, who knows what's up there? Plus, even the way to get up there is crazy.
Yeah, when they pull back out and it shows that they're on top of a giant fucking radio
Honestly,
tower.
I would fight
And
the
they gotta-
interdimensional monster.
I wouldn't do that.
I wouldn't climb on the tower.
Where you get
I
on the-
definitely wouldn't. Yeah,
You get on the railing of the top level to like
the one that's
jump
breaking.
up there. Yeah, to like jump up into the rift. No, thank you.
And they're all
I'm
standing
good.
on that thing. Like Dustin, when he gets up there, it looks like he's on like a chair in the kitchen to change a smoke alarm. I'm like a bro. My body wouldn't let me. I'd be like so shaky.
Yeah, dude.
Like somebody grab my butt.
Touch
I
my butt,
wouldn't
don't
have
care.
made it past the first landing where Mike offered me water and we talked about me being gay. I'd be like, I'll be right here, guys.
Why were you Will in that scenario?
Because I was being offered water.
Okay, you could have just been
So
there as
thirsty.
well. I would have loved that. Like they take that beat to be alone after he tells the whole crew that he's gay, and somebody else is like, like right as they start to talk.
Oh, thank God, do you have water?
Give me that water. It would have been a great beat for Argyle if he'd have been in here,
Totally schmacks, man.
Yeah, man, this water smacks, man. I get cotton mouth. Try before you deny on the tower, man. Speaking of tower, so anyway, Nancy's first through, and then they tell Neil Armstrong to suck a fat one.
Yeah, suck a fat one, Neil Armstrong.
I had a great Lance Armstrong joke that only Steve got during the watch. Just so you
damn.
Do you want me to
Yeah.
say it to you, Andy, as
Yes,
if I came up with it?
I said, yeah, he was on performance enhancing drugs when he got to the moon. Anyway, it doesn't count.
Nice.
It was a great joke. Henry comes back in and no one's at his table. It's just empty seats and candles. Oh my God. Oh my
Where are
God.
my friends?
11 walks out all dramatic, but this is like I guess they rehearsed this in advance so they could prove to the children or something.
That he's evil.
Yeah. Because at first it's like, why is she monologuing? But then this makes sense. They're trying to kind of out him there.
I love how they are modeling, but literally they're 3 feet in front of him, just like, be cool, be cool,
Yeah.
be cool. Guys,
Cool.
be chill.
Yeah. Kids, no way.
What are they doing?
What do you mean he can't see us?
The one does talk at one point, and I'm like, shut the fuck up.
I guess there's auditory blocking as well.
Yeah.
I guess.
That was Tommy, right? Is that his name, Tommy?
Yeah, Tommy the dipshit.
How can everybody named Tommy in this show just sucks and is a maniacal bully? Just goes to show. But yeah, she gets him to monologue with her as well. It's over, Henry. Where are the kids? With Max. They're gone. They're far away. And then we see them hiding there with Collie. That's why you got them, right? Because children have weak minds and you can manipulate them. And he starts to transform his arm.
His arm looks like extra wild this time around.
Yeah, he's letting his whole freak flag fly. I even went slower.
It's hard.
Couldn't do it.
It's late.
But yeah, he can't do it. Not without you. Right? They're trying to help the kids to this moment where they're not going to be able to. Even I don't know what he would do. Even if he got the kids back, how's he going to get them in the willing trance mode now?
Just beat him up.
It's going to be chaos. Beat them up.
He gets
Nuggies.
he gets Holly's sidestep and starts hitting them like she did.
Oh, the radio.
Yeah. Come here.
And he notices that 11 is stronger, but so is he, right? You've been working out. So have I. What's your PR?
Nice gains.
Should we do it together?
I need a spotter.
And then he sees Kali in her mind and seems to put exactly what's going on together in his head, walks through the illusion. And the room is now empty because the kids, having been convinced, are really gone with Max. Okay?
Look at his hand. Ah! Get us to the cave.
Kids run out with Max.
Take it to the cave.
Henry gets thrown on the table. Kali runs in, but she has to get that line in, and that's precious seconds. Hi, brother, or whatever she says. She stabs, but
Sup,
he's
dog?
gone. What would have even happened here if
bamfs.
stabbing mind Henry have done anything?
It would have given him a headache at the very least, or like a really bad migraine.
Itchy butt.
They are able to hit him.
Oh, I'm
Holly hits him with
sensitive to light now.
with the poker, and that like leaves a physical mark. It's just interesting to me, like what does happen to you when you die in your mind.
If you die in the game, you die for real. I do know that.
I remember that. Lucas and the gang talk about how the abyss is ultimately a letdown. They're just kind of trudging through. Like, hey, it's kind of a nice desert area. I don't know what I thought it was going to be. No monsters, no
vines and
nothing.
shit.
Yeah. And Will is pretty confident that Henry is dead, or at least if he's not, he will be soon. And we get this great moment between Steve and Jonathan on this walk, like we typically do in this show. He thanks him for saving his life. And Jonathan doesn't really let off the gas, though. Just because I don't like you doesn't mean I want you dead. And Steve, the bigger man, I don't blame you. I can be a prick sometimes. And that's when Jonathan softens. Yeah, me too.
No.
And basically tells him that, he thought things were off with Nancy because of Steve, but our problems had nothing to do with you. I ultimately realized that. Took me a while and to let her go. So he tells him that they broke up in that moment, right? And they talk about the 6 little nuggets.
And then Steve didn't, to his credit, wasn't like, so like,
She's single?
No, Steve was like, oh, we were never in the cards either. I came at her a little too strong and talked about the 6 nuggies I want. And he was like, don't call them nuggies, my guy.
Should I have gone for a 4-piece?
I know they have to know that they're talking about McDonald's at this point. They have to. When they were out of the 4, I was like, well, that was our joke. And they both just want to be friends with Nancy, and then they've ultimately find the big Vecna spider thingy lair.
Yeah.
Derek wants them to leave him. Hold on. Pause. Do you think, timeline-wise, so the Boy Scout shot in the hand Henry would have taken place before anything we've seen of Henry so far, right?
Correct.
Yes.
So he likes the spiders because the mind flayer is in him,
Totally.
right?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
real
yeah,
sad when
yeah.
Will has his whole thing like, you were just a boy and you're just like me. He's like, no, he showed me the truth and stuff. But like that when he's reaching down and touching the spideys and shit.
I do think what we're supposed to take from the end of this episode is that they are more symbiotic than a cut and dry would have been kind of cliche. Oh, Henry needs freed too, which was my prediction. So maybe he did have some influence on making him the spider form, but we had always thought that he formed him into that spider. But I don't think that's the case necessarily because
I think to your point, I think the Flayer formed the spider obsession within him, and I still think the Flayer is still the one pulling the strings, but they are at this point so symbiotic that one can't exist without the other now.
yeah, like they straight give him an out, and he's like, no,
I'm too far gone.
I agree with
Yeah,
everything
for sure he's
done.
too far gone at that point. I don't think like child Henry would have been like, yeah, fuck the man.
It's like a general, like after the tyrant is overthrown and executed, and you're like, hey, so he made you do all that? And no,
Well, like
I thought they were all great ideas.
I'm doubling down.
when Mike Tyson got that face tattoo, he had to commit. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like the world reacted. He's like, no, this is cool.
I mean, I don't know if your analogies always work super well. You know,
I'm gonna stand by this one.
the face tattoo that he's gone on record regretting is what you're going with.
Well, hey, give it another 20 years. I'm sure Henry would also regret his face tattoo of the
Exactly.
Flayer. Just in the moment,
just-
when he first
Henry
got
has
just-
regrets when Will's calling him out.
Vecna's just on the roof with all his pigeons. You know, I
would've
regret
done-
stealing the children. I do. Not the animals. That was fun.
That was great.
But the children, dick move.
Derek wants all the kids to leave without him. He's huffing and puffing in the woods. He's not going to make it. He's like, "Ugh."
Save yourself.
They're like, no, we never leave a man behind as we were all trained.
We don't go off trail.
Just now by Max. That's right. And Collie and 11 show up, and there's this really interesting, like, kind of attempt at a jump scare as they come out of the trees, but it's just Collie and 11. I guess one of them had like a Xenon that was choking them or something. And they can't find Henry. They've lost Henry. So let's just run really fast, okay?
We gotta go.
You gotta go to the cave. We cut to Hopper, who's with the tank alone and worried. He's stunned by cans of, I think, Agent Orange everywhere, right? What the fuck?
I'm so dumb. When he first looked over there, I didn't register that those were big barrels of Agent Orange. For a second, I'm like, oh, Callie's gone. What's she up to?
Where is Callie's blindfolded ass? Yeah.
I think she's
off camera?
Yeah, she's off camera. She's like, the barrels are around her.
I thought he was going to shoot her. I was shocked. Anyway, we'll get there in a second. Yeah, Herbicide, 1966, right? He was in the shit there in Vietnam. He doesn't know the name of that gun. He just knows the sound it takes when it takes a man's life. That kind of shit. Sarah is, she's got the beeps and boops on the EKG in her hospital bed behind the tank.
This to me.
You knew this would happen.
It was your fault,
You did it
Father
anyway.
Hopper.
They did a good job of finding a girl that looked a lot like the Sarah that we saw previously.
Every time they bring Sarah up, it wrecks me, dude. And now he sees Collie, the memory of them talking to 11 about their death pact, and it's all real. It's a word for word what happened.
Yeah, because Vecna pulled that out of 11's mind with his
Yes.
big hand, and now he's like, Jim.
I am many things, but I am not a liar, Jim.
Remember when we would hang out at school? I'm your friend now.
She's going to do it, Jim. She's going to end her life. You are the curse. And he freaks out, we think. I guess he never even pulled the trigger because there's still bullets in that gun when Collie grabs it and no one shot. But he thinks he shoots the tank. And, what was your guys' reaction to this?
Oh, I thought that like he actually shot her and was like, holy fuck, we got to get her out of the upside down. I was like, what a twist.
Yeah, what a way to take her off the board.
Did you think 11 was really wounded?
At first, yeah. At very first,
I did too.
Because that's such a classic movie thing to do, where a character is not in the right state of mind, and
Sure.
they shoot at what they think is a villain. Then it's like, wow, me, and their friend or loved one falls dead, and it's like an awful tragic story.
Now the light she fades.
I see a white light.
Now I'm really coughing. Down, go towards the light. Yeah, this shocked the shit out of me. I was like, oh no. Like, I hate this, but also like, this is interesting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was like, the internet's going to love this. And then the girls disappear from Vecna's mind as Hopper smashes the tank to get her out. Dude, when he opens the like visor or whatever, and there's blood floating in the water and shit, I was like, oh no. Because at first
really
I picture
sell
her
it.
in there like, like,
Her subconscious body's like, not gonna get me.
yeah, because she's magical too.
T-pose.
Or she's like Morpheusing them or something, or like a Neoing them,
It's the unconscious Spider-Man in the Across the Universe thing where he's
yeah.
holding the thing away from Doctor Strange.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
I understand that reference.
It's also a reference. Oh my God. Same universe. Any hoozle. Yeah, but then the girls disappear. I like that effect too, because Max knows that without 11, she's toast in that world. So she's like, get to the cave. Smoke. It was an illusion. Those are my notes, question mark. Dr. K, I guess, do you think Max like made noise when she came back to her body?
Yeah, she
Yeah.
gasps.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they do that like that.
I was thinking she should take her deeper into the tunnel.
And then Dr. K's
Yeah,
like,
she's
I
hanging behind
knew
the
it
door.
wasn't just a shelf.
I wasn't out here just collecting records and about to leave. I was waiting all along.
Yeah, Dr. K's out there just like judging the records like, oh,
Butthole surfers.
whoa, hell yeah.
That sounds disgusting. They left Operation Beanstalk out on the overhead projector as well. Kids left their homework out.
Love that line. That guy's a Ted Wheeler fan.
It's just like one of those S's with triangles and stuff. And he's like, what's this mean? Holly takes charge with the kids. She's going to make a wonderful TA someday. All right, guys, chop, chop, get to the cave. Everybody
Let's
stick
go.
together.
Everybody get a buddy. Get an accountability buddy. Stick together.
That's right. 11 tells Collie that getting to the abyss is the only thing they can do now because Collie wants to go back into Vecna's mind. And so they're kind of arguing about that. And Hopper's off to the corner like, third option, everybody sit the fuck down. I saw the death pact. Henry showed me your plan. Tell me you don't plan on killing yourself tonight. Look me in the eye. All right, then I won't detonate the C4. Well, the whole world will be destroyed. Yeah, well, should have thought about that.
Sucks to suck.
Fuck them.
Play bitch games, get
You're
bitch prizes.
grounded from saving the world until further notice. Collie pulls a gun on Hopper, which I thought this was going to be the big, 11v Collie thing. That ultimately never happens, and that's probably for the best. Collie deserves peace too.
Agreed.
And she says, I have to end the cycle. And he's like, not with more violence, not with more pain. I need you to fight one last time. Fight for the day that you have a kid of your own and you give her the life that you never had. And it's such a beautiful speech, somebody that comes from trauma. And that's because in so many ways, he's saying that that's what he's trying to do with her. We know a little about Hopper's background, and it's not great, not horrible, but not great, and it's all any parent is trying to do is just impart less of the defects and make life more joyous. No matter how joyous your childhood was, you just want your kids to be slightly better, especially if it was awful though, you want that to stop.
And he's right. Like all the fucked up shit that Eleven's been through, she's still able to like carry on and be somewhat of a normal kid when she's removed from this stuff, and he just wants that for her. And the way he pleads to her and like, I know you believe you can, you have to make this real, and you will. And I think his words move Callie because Callie's like, yeah, she is pretty cool. I want her to be happy.
Yeah, she starts to lower the gun, and which I think is another indicator that the fantasy ending that we got is
I'm changing my mind about
real.
What we're gonna do.
Yeah, you deserve it, is what he tells her. At that moment, Murray radios in, and I think throughout the show, Murray's zaniness has always worked well for me. But I think the use of him in this finale, it's not annoying or anything. It's fine, but it's consistently undercuts good moments. With
I was a little annoyed when they
over
first
abrasiveness
pulled into the Upside Down and he opens the truck back and he's like, "Come on, kiddos, let's go save the world." I was like, "All right, Zany Murray,
yeah,
chill out, dude."
And like, there's a moment where Hopper's like, "Hey, be careful with that like world-ending amount of plastic explosives we have on." Oh, I was gonna fuck around with it, and it's like I had this weird introspective moment where I was like, "Is that me? Is that what it sounds like when I do that smart ass shit? That's awful."
I laughed.
Obviously,
at that
just say
moment.
okay.
Myself.
I laughed at that moment because that's 100% Erica, like, to a T. Because like she'll go out and like drive somewhere. She's like, "All right, I'm gonna go drive and pick up the kids." I'm like, "All right, be safe." And she's like, "Oh no, I was gonna drive with reckless abandon. I'm glad you told me." And it's always like a joke that we have. So when he said it, I'm like,
So it is me.
She's murraying, especially after last episode when the truck wasn't working. He's like, "God damn it, motherfucker!"
Oh yeah,
and we're like, "Oh
that's
yeah,
me as well.
yeah."
I handle
I
things
basically married a female you.
well. Lucky you.
They say you marry your mom.
I married Kit Laser.
Yeah, but Murray radios in and says they've got company. The troops are there at the lab. Oh no. Holly and the kids get to the cave, but Derek isn't there because remember, he was huffing and puffing.
Leave no dipshit behind.
That's right. And so she's like, "Debbie, you're in charge. I'm going back for Derek. I gotta find Bubba." And but Henry's already there coming to get them. He opens a portal. He's almost on Derek. They get away, but he grabs Holly's leg with his strong arm. But fuck, he's not ready for dipshit Derek and his abilities.
Somehow he's able to overpower.
He did not anticipate.
It's all
Doesn't matter.
technique.
It all pays off for the zinger that he drops.
They set up dipshit Derek's ability to fight off several combatants. Do you remember
Holding
that
that door.
clothesline he nailed Joyce with and fought everyone off? The only person who can beat him is Erica Sinclair.
That's right. And she's not there.
Suck my fat one.
Give him the bird.
Hell yeah,
It's a
kid.
good one. He's sticking it to the man at all times.
Love that
Dustin
kid.
learned a lot from him, apparently. Yeah. So he saves her.
And they think they're safe in the cave because he won't go in there.
Yeah, Holly tells the kids they're safe here. Mike is staring at Nancy constantly. They get a little moment on their walk. And ultimately, he's like, I just want a goddamn gun.
Give me a
You
goddamn
got
gun.
all those guns, and I got no guns. All I got is 3 Molotov cocktails. Come on.
I love that beat where she gives him like a whole bandolier of ammo and like this gun with like a real large, I don't know, shoot. I don't know what you call
Barrel?
it.
Barrel.
Thank you.
Shooter? Like, it's got a big pooper on it.
Got a big poop shooter. And Mike's like, "Nice. Yeah. It's like a grenade launcher." And Luke is like, "It's a flare gun, bro."
It's a flare gun, dude. Oh, it's such a deflating moment for Mike, but it comes in handy later.
Yeah.
I like that it's literally Chekhov's flare gun. Will it starts to kind of trip out as he nears the lair and he enters Vecna's POV, sees that he sees the cave. Henry's alive and he's getting close to the kids. Oh no, right? And Henry starts to kind of revisit the Boy Scout murder memory, and it's really rough for him. That's, is the quickest way we can say that. Will starts screaming in Vecna's pain because, Vecna is racked with the pain of not just of the memory itself, because I think it acts as great symbolism for trauma, but also like literal pain because the Mind Flayer is trying to prevent him from going in there.
Yeah, this whole season the whole thing about the cave was a little worrying to me because if it's going to be like, oh, this is a traumatic experience for Henry and that's why he can't go in, part of me was like, I don't know if I buy that. This guy just being so like, I'm really evil, but I'm really scared of the cave. Like, I don't know if that would have worked. So I'm glad that they made it this thing where, the Mind Flayer is making him not go in there so that he doesn't remember who he is. Mm-hmm. I like that they added that.
I saw a theory online that, because everybody's escape route from Vecna's mind was the first time that Vecna took them, that's why the Mind Flayer won't let Henry go in there, because that's where he was taken by the Mind Flayer and he could maybe escape that way.
He probably could have, because there's that rift right there down the hall.
Yeah.
Just down the hall in the Mind Shaft.
Down the hall and to the right.
It's true. He almost got there. He couldn't have fit through the rocks though. But yeah, so it was kind of similar to that. They were mostly right in that theory. But yeah, like Holly goes to kind of check out the front of the cave. She sees Henry. He's kind of feeling better now. He's stalking towards them. Oh no. She goes back
I'm working on myself.
into the room and tells all of them to run into the desert. Go out there. He's coming. I lied, right?
He's facing his fears. Run.
And Will's like, they're all alone. He's going to get them. And then Will is going to try to stop him with his powers. Everyone else runs off to the lair. Joyce stays with Will, of course. My boy. Hop.
Tag team.
Who? I'm in this
Joyce
show.
Myers, mother of two, in your corner. Ring the damn bell.
I didn't hear no bell. Akers and his gang, the Wolf Gang, are pushing into the lab, and they've got the pulse guns blasting from a chopper outside to eradicate the abilities of Kali and Elle. He picks up Hopper. It's such a funny moment where he's like, the one I care about, and takes her. I honestly respect it,
For sure. When it comes down to it. Yeah.
And then he goes to if I've got like my son and my son's buddy, God, I hope I can save them. I hope I can save them both.
Sure.
But if it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, at his age, I could carry them both. That would just be me being an asshole. But, you know what I mean? Like, where's Billy?
He didn't make it.
He wanted to join them. I don't know what it'd say. Anyway, but yeah, he grabs Elle and takes her with him to hide. Kali gets got by the goobers. But Hopper, I love this moment where Elle's like, Kali? And he's like, I love her because you love her and I love you. Mm-hmm. And he kills a lot of people.
Dude, he goes ham in that hallway.
There's a little bit of murder going on.
That's some John Wick shit.
Yeah, he had all that Agent Orange flashback. Got him triggered.
He turns corner, shoots a bunch of dudes, backs off, and then when he turns corner again, he's all low because they were like going to aim all high and shit, but he wasn't up
Never
there.
Never peek from the same spot. That's Video Game 101. I was doing that earlier in Arc Raiders.
Nice.
Or like what rookies do is I'm peeking, and then when I free up the window, they'll peek from the same spot. Don't do that. I made that spot hot.
That spot hot.
Go low. But Akers gets Hopper. Luckily, it doesn't kill him. He wants to know where Elle is located.
Where's that freak?
Yeah, the bigger freak.
I might be a military guy, but I have the energy of an 80s bully.
I have scars now.
Look at me. You want to know how I got these scars?
Do you think I chose this haircut? No.
He looks. He makes season 2 Will look amazing with whatever Akers has got going on, man. But Holly tells the kids, because they're down in the mine shaft at this point, right?
Eyes on me.
That's so funny. She's so military and precise, but also nothing.
But that's a Mike Wheeler thing, because he was doing that with the kids too earlier. She is a Wheeler.
That's right. She's the heart of this crew.
She is.
Nothing you see in here can hurt you. Derek says, holy shit balls, when he sees the dead guy.
Derek.
The kids are all climbing through into what will be the portal back to their bodies, like after they get through the spires and stuff and Vecna land. But Holly finds the fire poker. Her arc will be complete. She's going to stand up to this motherfucker. The soldiers are threatening to shoot Kali if he doesn't spill the beans on where Elle is. We cut back to Murray up on the roof, who's freaking out now, and he has an explosive plan. He looks down at the C4. Oh, it's just so crazy. It just might work.
For a brief moment, I thought Murray
was going to kamikaze jump.
He was going to strap up.
Yeah. As it was leading up to this, I was like, this is so dumb if he kamikazes into the
Well, at the same time, it's so anticlimactic if all he's going to do is throw it. Why are you doing the... Of course that's going to work. Just so crazy. Oh, this plan is crazy. Blowing up the helicopter is the most obvious thing to do. It's not crazy at all.
It would have been better if they had set up earlier in the season that Murray can't throw for shit. Like he's like, I got it, and just like throws something that somehow goes behind him.
Or like a Zoolander thing, you can't throw left and it's over there.
Yeah.
I was very unclear on why he needed his belt for this situation.
I had to tie the detonator to the stack of C4, I think.
Okay. And so how does the detonator get pushed?
I'm not a bomb guy, but I think it like sticks in there and there's some ignition or spark when you...
I thought he was about to create like a thingy that he could whip around and throw really far, you know? Wasn't that at all.
Yeah, what do you call that? When you have like a rock and you whip it, what's that called? A flame? Not
Sling?
Sling, yeah.
Sling blade?
I believe it's called a whippet or a nay-nay.
Well, he whipped it good.
Now watch me whip.
Now watch
Boom.
him. Watch him do it.
Watch me. We got enough track. It's 2 a.m. Yeah, he blows it up. He throws the bomb at the chopper. And I love this moment though. We cut briefly back. So he has the plan and then it cuts to Kali. And I love that. I love this. Hopper looks at Kali because Kali's the one with the gun to her head. And there's this like, do you want me to tell him where Elle is? Because it's like, I don't want you to get shot in the face. I don't want to tell him. I don't even like you.
Yeah.
And she goes, mm-mm. You know what I mean?
I signed up for this, boss.
It's so fucking good.
And the way they film it too, because they have they make it real dramatic, the slow-mo on the gun silhouette, and then the way that the helicopter lights are cascading over Callie's face. Like really, really effective filmmaking in this scene.
Agreed. And she's like, no, do not spill those beans. Murray throws the bomb at the chopper. Akers does shoot right as the explosion happens, but he's knocked askew a little bit. So it's not her head, but it does clip her in the chest. I say clip right in the center of her chest.
That's just a flesh wound. She can survive for another 4 hours at least.
It's a mortal wound delivered by a Morgul blade. And now Elle is there because that's what she does. She pops up. She's known to do this. People just start crack, 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 crack. All around the room.
She did it in sequential order, like
awesome.
you. Akers gonna have fun with you.
I got something special.
Yeah,
she makes him blow his own brains out. But
that's awesome.
So rad.
Love that. Loved it so much. But Kali took a shot. I'm not going to make it. Don't worry. Don't be sad. My story was always going to end here. And maybe she said after that, but yours is not. Maybe. Because Hopper was out getting the jacket or whatever, the bag to wrap up the wound. She's dead when he returns. He thinks she
could have just been casting a vision.
I guess. Or she could have just been played and dead.
If Mike's story, that's true. She just
casting a vision by sitting still.
I think on.
There's enough blood to pull it off.
Her one eye like opens up and looks around.
Or maybe she wasn't shot at all. Is that possible? That all of
No,
that?
I think she definitely got shot.
I'm just saying she could have made it look like that. She got that. That's literally her power.
That's true.
She got winged in the elbow, but she wants to make it look real bad for
terrible
Jane.
wound.
Like, oh no, a terrible wound.
Feel bad for me.
I am like Papa.
Either way, she had to sit in the room of dead soldiers for like 30 minutes.
I know, dude.
Was she like singing a song to herself and like do
Should I stay or should I go now?
Should I stay or should I go? Whew, man, it's been like an hour. Are they done yet? Damn.
We cut to Henry, who gets into the mine shaft. At this point, he's pushing through the bad memory.
I don't like it.
Holly. And then she hits him with a fucking fire poker.
Yeah, take that.
Twice.
Bam.
Twice. She fucks him up, dude. That looked like it hurt.
She's been training for this, waiting for this. You know, and when you're in this form, it's easier. And he gets it from her. I thought he broke her arm, but it's like a violent twist. He takes the poker. I don't know if he's going to hit her or not, but then he gets distracted by the memory.
Yeah.
Sees the dead body.
You stay back. How'd you find me?
Oh, he's like, oh no, this is dramatic. I killed that guy.
Oh, this diva.
violently.
Damn.
Before I ever had a interdimensional, malevolent force, I was a murderer. And I could take a shot, though. That's cool.
Speaking of shots, I love how he gets shot again. We see that part where he shoots young Henry, but you can see the young actor and
Like
Jamie
right
Campbell
behind
Bower
him.
right behind him, like acting in the same way.
Very cool shot.
Very neat. I like
You
that.
know what it
walk-in.
reminded me of in a stupid way is that awesome shot from Last Jedi where there's like 1,000 Daisy Ridleys.
Oh, yeah.
But they don't quite move at the same time. It's almost like a domino thing.
Yeah. They're doing the snaps.
But it was only 2. So it's like, and then we got the Will.
That's it.
And if you count Will as the third one. Yeah, it was very cool. I
He's
agree.
in a memory now. He's scared.
Elle and Hopper get up to the roof with Murray. This is what I'm talking about with like the Murray stuff kind of intercuts where he tries to be like, I forgot there was a third person. Why are you sad? You made it. I blew up the thingy.
Well, in his defense, if you guys were like with a third person, like with Jimmy, and you guys
why's
were
it gotta be Jimmy that's
somewhere
dead?
else, because who the fuck is Jimmy? And you guys were somewhere else, and then I blew up a fucking helicopter
And
with
then you
nothing
saw
but
me and
C4
Andy.
in my belt. I'm like, did you guys fucking see that shit? Look at Papa Steve with the Huey bomb.
Yeah,
Woo!
that's true. You would be so hyped and you would want DAP.
I took down Huey. They're gonna need to call Dewey and Louie if they want a chance at the king.
That's basically his vibe. Like, do I not get any DAP? That was so. Somebody clip that chat. Clip that.
Flat chat.
But then he remembers Collie and he's like, Collie? And nobody, they do that look away,
Yeah.
Oh, that's not good. She didn't see my move.
She would have loved it.
Yeah. Elle says, and then she sees the boulders. I can jump like Mario. Waha! Yip, yip, yippee.
I'm gonna go to the abyss.
When you learn how to do like the backflip somersault, you know what I'm talking about?
You got to time the jumps
Exactly.
perfectly.
It's the third one. The yippee. That's what she's saying. And he's like, I never play that game.
It's either this shot or a shot earlier with Dustin and the gang where they look up and they see like all the rocks in the air. I don't mean to be an asshole, but there's a lot of people online who are posting this theory, and it gave me a chuckle every time. They're like, guys, look, it's the dragon. And it was just like a rock appearing in the sky, but through the clouds, where if you really squint, you could probably trick your brain into thinking it was a dragon. Because a lot of people wanted a fucking dragon in the show. And
Well, at least they got a kaiju.
yeah, they did get a kaiju, but it
What
made me laugh.
dragon?
I guess because Will painted a dragon in season 4, they're like, there's definitely going to be a fucking dragon,
they're all
guys.
fighting the dragon.
And it's a D&D campaign, so we have to be very literal with this animal.
People want everything to be so literal, huh?
I know. But it made me laugh every time because it was that same screenshot. I'm like, you guys are going to be so fucking disappointed.
And Mike's the
it's
heart.
just a rock.
The heart that Vecna was hanging from was Mike. Because Mike's the heart.
Oh my God.
Never mind, guys.
I called it Mike. That's what I call the flare.
He's the heart.
He's my heart.
Elle says she can jump into the abyss, and he says, if you fall, and she's like, I'm not going to fall. And Hopper says, what if you make it? It's equally scary based on your heretofore mentioned plans. Then what? And then she says, when I was a kid and you found me in the woods, I was scared, really scared. I didn't understand the world. I didn't understand people. You took me in, raised me, protected me. You became my dad. But I'm not a kid anymore, and I am not Sarah. And she gives him his bracelet back. You didn't have a choice to make, or she didn't have a choice to make, but I do. And I need you to trust me to make the right choice. I need you to believe in me. And that's good symbolism for all children of that age. You have to let them fly now. You know, you've raised them. You're still going to be there for them. They're still going to make many mistakes and need lots of help. But ultimately, this life is now theirs. As a metaphor, I think it works. And I think it works here, especially for setting up what happens at the end. We get the Henry fucking smashing that random scientist face with a rock again.
Fuck yeah.
And then loots the body, which you have to get the goop, you know?
You got to.
And
Otherwise, what
Oh
was
my
it all
God, a
for?
legendary?
but it's like a crazy rock thing.
A legendary rock.
But it's got mind flare smoke in it, goes into his hand wound.
Yeah.
And you can hear him, find me,
Find me.
find me. I'm cold and lonely. I'd like to be a spider.
You're never going to catch me.
Be a spider.
You're going to need to get abducted and you're going to meet a little girl and she'll blast you over to my house.
I'm so upside down. I look crazy.
I'm so upside down. I'm so upside down right now. You don't even know.
I'm so intent. And then Will's like, oh no, resist it, you know?
It wasn't you. It was never you.
Leave me alone.
Even the scientist wakes up. It will consume you. Resist it. It will consume you.
And he just blows his eyes out.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
That's what you do, man. Don't talk to me, rock guy.
I thought you were dead.
Yeah. And then he runs away. And then, that's when Will's like, it wasn't you. It was never you. Leave me alone. That's why the mind flayer didn't want you in the cave. You were just a kid, a little kid like me, and it used you. Don't let it win, Henry. Please fight with us. No, it showed me the truth. It showed me that this world is broken, that man is broken.
That spiders are really cool.
Yeah, they're so
so
creepy.
neat.
My
but
mom's a
misunderstood. Yeah, killed her. So Will and Henry argue, and Henry's like, he claims that it never controlled him, that he was making those choices, right? The same choice that, not the same choice, but in the same sense that Elle was like, I made my choice. I don't think it's an accident that this scene follows that one, right?
Totally.
Hey, we make our choices.
Don't you see, William? I could have resisted it, but I chose.
I had I had a full ride to Emerson. I chose not to go. I had options. And then now the heart in the lair is beating like crazy. I chose to join it. And then the lair is waking up. The legs are coming down right as Nancy and the gang gets there. It needs me and I need it. We are Venom. I mean, one. E pluribus unum.
A lot of
Out of many one.
there's a lot to it. Not only are they one, e pluribus unum, but also we are 001. We are Papa's one.
Ah. Whoa.
Oh my God.
That is one of my many names is one, if you recall. Lucas saves Dustin with the dope roll.
Yeah, he does.
Did you think Dustin was going to get squished?
No, I thought Steve was going to save him, though. They do it a couple times where you think Dustin's going to save Steve or Steve's going to save Dustin, but the party is strong.
You die, I die, but we're going to let each other do our thing.
Yeah, we're going to give each other space.
You know?
Yeah.
Just because we're
Little
best friends now.
independence.
But I love that Dustin did save his boy.
11
Yeah, that was dope.
is all of a sudden there because that's what she does to
Hi.
fight. And I was robbed of the rock jumping. I'll get over it.
She did throw a
Damn
rock.
shame. Well, in the
at the
video
mind flayer.
game, you'll get to do it.
Thank you. I hope so.
It'll be a
Thank you for
quick
giving
time
me that
event.
hope. She flips in literally into his body, opens his chest, goes in there.
Yeah, her training with Hop seemed to have worked out. She's doing all the duck
doing the moves.
dodge dives that she was doing earlier.
You can dodge a kaiju, you can dodge a ball.
I got chills when she ripped Vecna down from the vines.
Oh, he
because I
had to
was
have been
like,
so
my
upset
God, it's
too. Like,
fucking happening.
I was driving. Autopilot engage.
I was having a moment in the cave.
Yeah, and he stands up to duel. And I think this is the first time that she's ever physically been there with Vecna,
Yeah.
right?
They fought in the
They've always fought in their
minds game,
minds. So it's this first time, smelling it.
Yeah. That has to smell so Brody in there.
For sure.
Reno Baz in the Abyss.
She's taken a bunch of them recently, technically, salty ones.
Yeah.
Dustin says, from the tanks, Dustin says, more D&D stuff. We got to chip away at its hit points, right? Good thing Hop's not there. That would have pissed him straight the fuck off. So they
Lucas
decide.
gets the plan. He's like, there's a canyon. We can get on the cliffs. All that
Dude, it
stuff.
would have taken so fucking long to get on that canyon.
Oh, I know.
I was like, what are you talking about? How'd you get up there?
Like, this is so cool and all.
Nancy's like, I'll be bait. If that was us, we would have been like on the first rock when Nancy's getting
Like, wait,
eaten.
no, wait,
Like,
hold on. Give us a fucking minute.
I tripped.
Like, it is so cool because I love that Nancy's like, we already got bait. And she like just
Yeah,
goes for it.
yeah.
So baller. Love that. But you're right. Like, in my head, I'm like, it's going to take them a while to scale them cliffs.
Like the horizon, that's so far. But Elle is losing the fight inside the mind flayer. Nancy unloads. Go! And Jonathan kind of tries to go back to help Nancy, but Robin's like, there's nothing you can do.
this is between her and it.
She's a real bad bitch.
Elle does the sand trick. If you're losing a street fight,
Pocket sand.
Pocket sand.
you got to throw it in their face.
I love that we get to see psychic pocket sand. That's so fun.
Yeah, it's what the move is. It's like Bloodsport. Remember that? That's a dirty move in that sport. Different part of Bloodsport, but yeah, also that when he throws the sand in his eyes at the end and he can't.
But I always immediately think of that face.
Yeah, that's his.
That or what kind of a deal?
That's that's his O face. Nancy's getting chewed at in the cave. That was kind of fucking crazy. He was getting through them rocks. He was going to get there. But then luckily,
How do you like the big flare design, the big Spidey?
I think it's cool.
the kaiju look.
It looks like how I thought it would look in real life. What do you think, Andy?
It is cool. I'm just confused on when and how it turned into a spider and why was it dead. And, like none of that is really explained. But it's okay. Like I'm fine with it. The reveal.
It was sleeping.
The big layer.
The heart was always beating. It wasn't dead.
I guess, yeah.
Maybe it's whatever Vecna's doing to himself because he's obviously made himself into some like vine, not all natural human parts person now. Maybe he's been building a more fleshy body for the mind flayer so that they could do whatever this
that's true. It was never like this. It was smoke before. So this is its like even more corporal form that was taking time and power perhaps.
Yeah, maybe whatever they needed to do with the kids, like that whole apparatus that they haven't hooked up to, like they needed more of a concrete thing to plug them into, so they made the
maybe the kids were part of that power of it. They were the batteries.
Okay, I'll take it. Overall design, I thought it was cool looking for sure.
Just from up top of the ridge where they got there already, they hit them with the flamethrower and some like liquor and flares to light them shits up.
I love that Lucas busts out his wrist rocket. He's shooting balloons.
He's got a giant wrist rocket.
Yeah, it's dope.
Classic. I don't know that it works because it's everybody's got these like machine guns and Molotov cocktails and flamethrowers, and then poor Steve and Dustin have a knife on a stick. For Eddie, and they're just stabbing the pimples. What are those things? Is that effective?
Steve's like, I really wish we would have went with the gun.
Yeah, I had a gun and you stopped me. This sucks.
For Eddie, you yelled out for Eddie right before they yelled out for Eddie.
I was joking, and they really did it. And then Will is helping on his end. He's stopping Vecna from being able to choke the life out of.
Yeah, because he sends his big Groot arm after her and stops it and like snaps his hand off, right?
Like,
rips his arm off.
Eventually, he says, "We're not afraid of you." And everybody gets defeated. The big mind flayer's defeated. Vecna's ripped to shit. Elle's got him telepathically pushed on the, being impaled now. Dustin as the
shit.
He does the classic shit. The heart shrivels and dies. The heart of the mind flayer, the big one. The Mike.
Killed the mind
Mike
flayer.
is okay.
Nancy goes in the carcass, gets Holly out first, of course. I would too. That's my sister. Holly, she pukes up the smoke again.
Yeah.
I love that Nancy's the one that gets Holly because now all major family members of the Wheelers, aside from Ted, have had a one-on-one moment with Holly in a meaningful way.
And Ted was sleeping on the lazy boy with
they had a
Holly,
nap.
baby Holly that one time.
That's true. Seasons ago, yeah.
They bonded in the way that for Ted's hobby. And I think that's why Nancy was first through the breach as well, right? Like this whole mission for her is not saving the world; it's rescuing Holly.
Exactly.
Yeah, fuck the world.
And then Derek is with Steve.
I love that Derek just hugs him. I got you, bud.
Yeah.
Aw.
And I honestly thought this was a little comical how long they let it go on with the Vecna.
It was too long. I agree. And everyone's like staring at him. And
Yeah, like awkward.
Should we do something?
Yeah, but there is this, the way that it is effective is, my theory, but I think probably everybody's sense is there is going to be some kind of micro redemption for the innocent part of Vecna, the Henry Creel boy that's in there, right? Or something, especially after what we see with the moment between he and Will, where Jamie Campbell Bower does a wonderful job of kind of,
emoting the childhood terror.
Yeah,
that
like
he had
leave me alone.
experienced. Yeah.
But no, it kind of tricks you in that. And then it cuts to Joyce and we know she has that axe on her back and we see her remembering Bob being killed.
Vecna's like, please help me. I'm just a little boy.
You fucked with the wrong family. And then it cuts to everyone and all the shit throughout the seasons that Vecna is responsible for inflicting on them personally. # justice for Barb. Justice for Billy. Yeah, it takes a lot of chops because, maybe Joyce doesn't quite know what she's doing with an axe. It's not a big deal.
Justice for Bob. How many swings is this going to take?
Luckily, there were lots of infractions. Cuts his fucking head off.
It's like when Theon Greyjoy botches Roderick Cassell's
I was thinking that same thing.
Well, I don't want to give away my Easter egg now, but in keeping with the Harry Potter ones, it's nearly Headless Nick, you guys.
Oh. I just imagine
stopped.
when as the scene's going on, I just imagine, I wish they would have had like in the big like 18 months later bit that we were about to get to. Like one of them's like, do you guys remember when Mrs. Byers just cut that guy's fucking head off?
Oh, for sure. That comes up in conversation often, I'm sure.
I've got to talk to my therapist.
She has it mounted
daily.
over her mantle. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, the little kids for sure talk about that.
Joyce Byers, mother of two, got the only F-bomb in the whole fucking series, or at least one of the big ones. The most audible
the
one.
only one. I think it's the only one.
Some people say that Will drops an F-bomb when he's tearing down Castle Byers. And I can see where they can get that, but it's not like in the subtitles or anything. So
Doesn't count.
This is like 100% they committed to the F-bomb here instead of trying to get away with it.
If it's not printed for the hard of hearing, it wasn't said. That's right. Relieved sigh. Speaking of hard of hearing, that's the subtitle that we got after this moment when she cuts off the head, relieved, and it's a cool moment. It's undercut by the subtitles, unfortunately. Relieved sigh.
Yeah,
but it's a cool exhale.
It's over.
The noseless bastard is toast, Dustin reports to Murray and the gang. We're back in the Upside Down, so we were robbed of them climbing down with all the kids. The whole party, he reiterates, because he's wondering if Elle has decided to go forward with her plan, right? So he thinks Elle's back safe. Let's ditch this hellscape. And then we get the needle drop of something I never expected. I was hoping it was the Butthole Surfers.
Yeah, me too.
Prince is wonderful, right? But can you imagine? Marky got with Sharon. Sharon got Sheree. She was sharing Sharon's outlook on the topic of disease. You know what I mean? But then that sounds silly. But then cut to the wide shot of both the cars. I don't mind the sun sometimes. The images it shows.
That would be sweet.
Oh, I would have.
Is that Butthole Surfer song? Would that be anachronistic though? Is maybe that the reason why they wouldn't have picked it?
Who cares?
I don't know. That's the only reason I'm trying to think. But
I don't know if it was on that record that
it was
Robin
interesting
was
that they
about
went
or not.
from When Doves Cry, because that's the song they sing. They start off, but then it
then
transitions
Purple
into
Rain.
Purple Rain. So they like played the whole record.
I love
guess.
that bit
was a
because it
choice.
got to the end of the record for
Yeah.
the boom.
Yeah.
But also,
Oh yeah, that's
if
good.
you know anything about,
is that the last track on that
I don't know if it's
side?
accurate, but it's like
That'd
a cool
be
effect
good.
regardless. But also, you know how picky I'm pretty sure Prince is about who uses his songs and for what?
Yeah.
And the fact that they got two of them for Stranger Things is kind of wild.
Well, they
He's
said,
dead.
yeah, Prince is
I mean,
dead,
his
of course.
estate.
No, they said the Duffers were leading into this that there is a song that has never been permitted to be used or licensed out.
It's got to be this, right?
And I
one of them.
assume it's this.
Because I know that Prince he had that big, remember Kevin Smith talked about that vault of hundreds of finished songs and music videos and stuff that he has forbidden the world to ever see. It's like it's a whole vault of thousands and thousands of hours of all kinds of stuff that he's just like, nah, I did all that, but I don't want him to see it. And I imagine he has it all very legally written into his estate to follow certain of those rules as well.
Yeah.
Now, if he was alive, maybe this didn't happen.
Yeah. Yeah, the estate might have played a little loosey-goosey with
But
it.
great grandniece was like, I like Stranger Things.
How much?
He would have liked it. Yeah. So When Doves Cry, they're in the party bus. Everybody's relieved and happy. Hopper wants a smoke. Robin thinks Steve's all stinky. I'm not sure what that's about. Why? I don't know.
I love that bit where Derek is just staring at Mike because they're best friends now.
They
and Mike's like, hey, what's that kid's name?
Yeah. Murray like happy honks and cuts him off, and they're just kind of like going
Assholes.
normal traffic, cursing and stuff. Yeah. By the way, the relapse cigarette it does slap. If you do make it like just a few months and then give in, that motherfucker, dude, hits.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's
Oh
good.
yeah.
It's good.
If you quit for too long, it just kind of hurts again, you know?
It hurts and it's too stinky and tastes bad.
Right. But if you get in that middle ground where your body still needs it, oh man.
Dang.
I had one in France and that was good. And it had been years.
You got to in France.
Yeah, when in Rome
Yeah.
and when in France you smoke.
When in Paris.
When in Paris. Cigarette. Puis-je voir une cigarette, s'il vous plaît? I learned how to say that.
Quoi?
But as they exit the gate, exit the upside down. They've laid a spike strip there.
Oh no, we forgot about these assholes.
That's right. And both the trucks are like, whoa, and the army is everywhere. Whoop, whoop. Everyone's arrested. They've got the sonic boom, hedgehog. I always want to say Klondike. That's not accurate. Kryptonite.
What would you do?
Superman's only weakness, a Klondike bar.
You know that word means something other than the ice cream bar, right, guys?
I know.
Nothing in this context at
But it's
all.
just
It's
funny.
equally dumb.
But that's what I think of immediately when you say a Klondike.
What would you do? But where is Elle? Everybody's looking around. I saw her get out of the truck. I'm sure you guys did too as well. She was among the people pulled out. She must have escaped. She was just right here.
She just did like a ninja smoke.
She did. And then all of a sudden you see her in the upside. Because Mike, there's that sad moment where he's like, that's my girl. There she is. And he's like, wait, what? And she's in the upside down. And he's like, oh no, it's going to blow up. What the fuck?
What are you doing in
Don't do
there?
that.
And all of a sudden she pulls Mike to the void. None of this will ever end if I don't do this. I need you to talk to the others and thank them for me. I need you to make them understand. But I don't understand. Yes, but you will. Because you know me better than anyone else.
I love you.
And they weep and they have a good kiss, pushes him back to reality, where again, I can assume those two soldiers holding him are really freaked out. And then they all just watch her because I presume from reading their overhead notes of the plan, the soldiers all know not to go in there because it's going to blow. So they all just kind of watch her, and then boom, gets to the end of the other Prince song.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't do.
Purple rain.
No.
Purple rain.
I'm surprised they didn't do any kind of like Dr. K trying like somebody grab her or something. You know what I mean? Like anything for. She just sort of is like, son of a bitch.
What was she doing in there? That wasn't in the overhead projector plans.
In a real 80s movie, she would have. Go get her, and everyone would have been like, we're done taking your orders.
Right.
This is wrong. Let the kids go.
And then she would have been like, I'll do it myself. And she does like
And she would have blown
a
up.
ring thing, and she ends up diving into the upside down right as it
Exactly.
blows up.
That's how you do an 80s movie, damn it. But yeah, this is where we get the exhale, by the way, that I was thinking of.
There's a heartbeat right when the shit collapses after the purple rain stuff while it's black. And I was like, oh, she's alive.
I wonder if you can watch it back and see Kali illusion evidence. If you were to,
Maybe. Like a little shimmer.
yeah, if you were to
of
watch it
that.
back.
Yeah, maybe.
But we get that whoosh. Then the gate itself is gone. It's just the half of the public library,
Dude, I love...
otherwise known as Pound Town.
I love Finn Wolfhard's performance in this scene because he like goes feral yelling for Elle, and it's
Yeah, he
really
did good.
heartbreaking. And just the way Hopper in his eyes, he could see him just give up because he knows like what she's doing and he can't stop her, and that's her choice.
Yes. Stop it.
Stop it.
I need you to stop talking now.
Don't make me cry.
Then we cut to 18 months later. Hawkins Memorial is being built. And the idea that the army without Elle there is like, well, they got us. And they all just pack up and leave. It's crazy to me, but it's fine. Rockin' Robin. So not only that, but Jimmy fucking Fast Hands came back with his pussy ass and kicked Rockin' Robin out of there.
You can kick Rockstar. She's been holding down the radio waves.
Of course, she is also in college at Smith. Maybe it was more like a mutual.
Yeah, she doesn't live here.
Maybe it
anymore.
was like a more mutual thing. But at first I was like, fuck Jimmy Fast Hands.
Right?
He allowed you? That's your station. There's a bowl cut joke, which I appreciated. Lots of meta humor. No more quarantine. And she does have a great radio voice, by the way, Maya Hawke. So
Absolutely.
I respected that. The dulcet tones of Diane Wimbledon or whatever. I wrote it down somewhere. Deborah Winger. Deborah Winger.
Harry Super Bowl.
Steve isn't there to help her with the sound effects because he's out coaching baseball. He's actually, we find out, a full-on like employed with the school coach.
Yeah, Derek's on the team. Thomas is on there too.
And I think the fact that he teaches sex ed is a joke about all of our childhoods, about how it was always the weird coach that had that job for no reason or without any qualifications.
Absolutely.
They're graduating today, class of 89. And then we get my favorite needle drop of all time. Steve will tell you later, but that's a song that I actually fucking listen to all the time.
Fuck yeah.
Which I know you guys are all listening like, we listen to all of them all the time. Not me. This is not my thing. I do now.
because of the show.
Girls on film. Yeah.
You love Duran and Duran.
That song rocks.
It does.
I do be popping that on sometimes. Max is skateboarding again. This is one of my favorite scenes. She looks amazing. She's all healthy. She's having a good time. She healed. What a better way to show that she healed than to have her skateboarding.
She's zooming again.
And Lucas is out there and she's making fun of him for being a nerd because she's graduating too, but he's already got his graduating clothes on and she's out there sweating it up, having a good time. Like, what are you dressed like? It's still 2 hours away.
She did a sweet kickflip or something.
I feel like Steve, anxious guy that he is, he's out there wearing that already for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Got to make sure it fits.
He went to bed in that thing.
He laid it out the night before.
It's like a wedding dress. You only get to wear it once.
Yeah, and Erica's over there making a what we don't know yet, but Dustin's mom's crying. This is like the snowball kind of scene at the we cut to all these families.
He's like smiling for a really awkward amount of time. He's like, "You're gonna take the photo," and she's just crying behind the camera.
I think they did that on purpose because there's this whole bit. I saw an interview with Gaten Matarazzo recently where he talks about how he knows how everything about online discourse about the show and him specifically and stuff, which is probably unfortunate sometimes because people are shitty.
Yeah.
But he's like, I love that meme of me with my smile and the couch. Have you guys ever seen that?
Yeah.
And he gave this whole, but anyway, I was like, I feel like they had this extended shot of his over exaggerated smile on purpose,
That reminds me, this is a little bit of an aside, but at the radio station, there is a photo of Dustin and Mr. Clark just hung up somewhere. It's part of like the props department, but it's actually a somewhat photoshopped image of them, but also Mike, Caleb McLaughlin and Finn Wolfhard that was taken by Gatton's actual mother.
Aw.
So a photo she took, which was like at a premiere or something, made it into the show in the background.
That's beautiful. Hopper's a cop again?
Yeah, how'd they square that away in the town?
Is he the chief again? I guess.
I don't know. Callahan and Powell just fucked off.
That sucks we didn't get them.
Yeah, I wish we would have gotten like just a scene with them.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
I wonder if they were like in the
We got
background
Melon,
somewhere.
but like we needed more Callahan and Powell.
Yeah.
just one little scene with or
Callahan in prison,
Mm-hmm.
Powell's in therapy.
Hopper is there trying to get a photo with Will because he's with Joyce. They're at the cabin. I guess they all live at the cabin because Joyce's house got sold.
Mm-hmm. And I love how Jonathan's like, we need to put up the bed sheet so we can
diffuse
the
it.
light a little bit. And he's like, Hopper's like, stop it. No, I hate these artsy kids.
You get one take. But then Karen calls. She can't find Mike. Hasn't seen him since last night. Mike is sitting at the memorial. Hopper found him. How does this scene read to you? If you take it like Elle told him that she'd be alive and that she could.
I don't think she told him that she would be alive.
No, he didn't have the idea that the hedgehogs were there until after Dustin's valedictorian speech.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Because he looks at there's some mic feedback and he looks at the speakers.
Oh, that was his epiphany.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So he thinks she's dead.
Just sad boy
in
right
this
now.
moment. Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
in this moment.
You're right. That was the point of the epiphany there. Interesting. Yeah. Hopper finds him at the memorial. Mike doesn't want to talk at first. He tells him about the 3 waterfalls fantasy plan and stuff that he had. And Hopper gives him a great speech about the 2 choices that he now has. Everybody has. I love that a big theme of this episode is the choice that we all have and how to engage with whatever it is that we're given in life,
Mm-hmm.
And Hopper speaks from experience about you can spend a decade or so beating yourself up and trying to run from it, or you can just accept it. And it doesn't mean you don't think about it. It doesn't mean that it doesn't hurt. It doesn't mean anything other than that it happened and you can move on to something else and still be happy.
And it's meaningful coming from Hopper.
Absolutely.
Because these are 2 characters that were butting heads for so much of the show.
And he's got that stash back, so you're taking him serious,
Mm-hmm. So glad the beard's gone.
Yeah.
And then we get, of course, pomp and circumstance, the
Macho
graduation.
Man Randy Savage is coming out. Dun, na, 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 na.
I got you for 3 minutes. And we get the graduation ceremony. Mike made it. There's
Dustin's mom's still crying.
Oh, yeah. She's
That
great.
poor woman.
And there's this wonderful moment between Mike and Karen Wheeler. We get to
Karen's
close
got
that
some
loop.
Wicked fucking battle scars, dude.
She's got a big scar in her throat.
It's gnarly.
Yeah, and she's got a new haircut, the Princess Diana, as it were.
Nancy's also got a sensible haircut as well.
How did Dustin Henderson make valedictorian when he's been gone so much? I mean, he's a brilliant kid, but like he had to have been missing a lot of credits and stuff,
Totally.
especially
From
with
when would he be gone?
his depression with Eddie and all that stuff. You think he was like straight A's in it that whole time?
Sure.
Just so interested in learning. That was his only distraction.
He was just like, it's not even hard for him.
Yeah, he didn't even try,
The kid
you
who
know?
looked at Dr. Brenner's notebook and was like, got it, is not going to be sitting in like AP science being like, what?
It's funny that Dustin was valedictorian here, and there's like so many like Lord of the Rings jokes and stuff in this show because our valedictorian, I've told this story before, but his speech was, I don't know, half of you half as well as I should like, and I like less than half of you half as well as you deserve. And like only Andy and Nathan and I were like, and like, you know,
No one else reacted.
tumbleweed for the rest of the room.
Oh, that's a bummer.
But he's valedictorian. He gives his speech and he brings up D&D, pisses Hopper off. Chaotic good versus chaotic bad.
Mr. Clark is so proud when he brings up the D&D.
And I love this speech that he gives, though, about kind of what the show does, too, or any good story or any good thing. And like what has happened that we've seen in the world since the 80s, that it's okay now to be a nerd, and like all these different cliques and stuff. When shit got real, none of it mattered. You know, there's a line in the 12-step group that I'm a part of, talking about people who are addicts and alcoholics recovering together. We're like the passengers of a great liner the moment after rescue from shipwreck, when camaraderie and joyousness pervade the vessel from captain's table to steerage. And when you're floating on the ocean and you're all just drowned, you know, the captain's table was like the really rich people. The steerage is like where Jack from Titanic was, right? But when they were all rescued, none of that mattered. It wasn't like, you know, poor people over here. You know, everybody was just grateful to be alive. And I think that's what Dustin's talking about here. Is just like, even though some of the jocks got literally divided,
Split in half. R.I.P. Jason.
but for the most part, we all hang out now, you know, and that's kind of what adulthood is too, though. Like the shit that the cliques in high school just do disappear by the end of your 20s and stuff for most people anyway. It was a lot of really wonderful stuff here. But then the Eddie in him comes out. He calls Higgins a square. Higgins is picking up on bad vibes. He takes off his gown. He's got Hellfire Lives.
Yeah, now we all got to buy that shirt.
And then he quotes
God damn
Eddie,
it.
"This is our year."
I love that it cuts to his mom again. She's like, yeah, fucking get him, baby.
I love that she's supporting him through all this.
Yeah.
Fuck that square. He probably killed Muse.
I can't prove it. I know it was him.
And then this is where Mike gets that like microphone feedback kind of flashback that you guys are realizing that was his epiphany. That's awesome.
Oh, Erica created the confetti cannons. I wanted to point that out.
Yeah.
She helped.
yeah.
She was in on it with Dustin.
Did I not write that down?
Because they homies.
I didn't. I don't have any confetti cannon. That's what she was doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And probably Clark. He was like, get
helped,
it.
yeah.
Get it.
Stacey
Those are my
comes
designs.
up.
Stacey.
Is that from the snowball? The one that shitted on him?
That's the
Yeah.
girl.
That's so
It's
funny.
the same actress and everything.
I think it's the same one that also Eleven spilt all the Orange Julius on in season 3 as well.
Oh yeah, totally made her drink pop in the mall.
Is Stacey supposed to be the one that in season 1 when they went to Will's funeral and they're like, Stacey showed up at Will's funeral. He's gonna be so psyched when we tell her.
And she was crying.
I
yeah.
think so.
Is that supposed to be the same character? I can't remember.
I don't know.
Okay.
That would be hilarious.
but
Probably.
definitely Snowball for sure.
Yeah, she pops up all the time. That's so funny. Yeah, she's like, "Hey, you want to come? I like your speech. You want to come to a party?" And Mike has a better idea.
Should we go?
I have
Screw
a
that.
better idea. Let's go play D&D. Dustin, in real life, is like, bro, you have your girlfriend. Okay, sorry. I guess Dustin and Susie broke up at some point.
Maybe
Long
we-
distance wasn't working.
There's no mention of Susie Poo this season.
No, we get to see her in the credits. But yeah, Steve, Nancy, Rob. At first, I thought they were all drinking on the radio roof because it cuts from there. He's like, I have a better idea. And they're all popping beers up there. I was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, Mike. That's how you party.
But no, it's just Steve, Nancy, Robin, and Jonathan drinking on the roof of the radio station. I love the bit about property prices being way down in Hawkins. That's so true. You could scoop that up. It's the Gary, Indiana at this point.
Yeah.
Steve is teaching sex ed and coaching.
He's got a strict A policy. Unless you're a real asshole, I'll give you a B.
I would come to you if I had any STD questions. Oh, really? I love that Jonathan is this snobby indie filmmaker at NYU. It's about capitalism. Like that idea is totally, that sounded so real.
Yeah, I've heard that same exact pitch in my film
That's
school.
probably like the Duffer's old thesis idea or something.
For sure.
We wrote that movie at some point, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's something I would call Andy about and be like, dude, I just got the best idea. All I got is a title and a premise, but it's gold.
It's an anti-capitalist horror film.
Yeah, he goes to NYU. Robin goes to Smith, and Nancy just dropped out of Emerson.
What?
She probably should have finished her journalism degree, to be honest with you. But hey, different time.
She wants to go out there in the real world, get in the real
Girl,
shit.
I think you've killed people. Do you know this? You've been in the real world enough.
And she's not even haunted by it.
Not even a little bit.
She sleeps so okay at night.
You have murdered multiple soldiers who were just kind of signed up for the military, sent where they were sent, and doing what they were told.
Doesn't lose
There were
a
like
wink.
14 of them that she killed.
She killed a few. That's for sure. They're going to ultimately meet up in Philadelphia at Robin's weird uncle's house. And also, Jonathan's going to use the basement as a set. I respect his hustle.
Yeah.
Boiler room.
I did get a chuckle how they're like, what's in between all of our schools? And Jonathan's like, Louisville? And they're like, no.
But also, it's geographically factually not true.
No.
It's geographically factually not true.
We are not going to Kentucky.
It's south.
Are there other Louisvilles that I don't know about?
No.
I'm sure there is,
It's
but
got to be Louisville, Kentucky.
they got to be talking about Louisville, Kentucky.
But yeah, they're all going to meet up there. And I love that, no matter what happens with our careers and our kids and all this stuff, we promise to at least, and that's what adulthood is. It's like, I will force time to come connect with you briefly, periodically. And that's how our friendship will take shape.
We'll have beers once a month.
Yeah. And that's actually frequent.
Yeah, seriously. When they were like once a month, I'm like, yeah, it's going to end
There's
up
going to be
being
some
like
canceling.
every 6 months tops.
I haven't been pointing it out when I like cry so far, but like I did tear up in this part where is it Robin who says like she's gonna miss this place? I'm gonna miss the people. Or I don't miss this place, but I miss the people, and I miss
Steve
you
starts
guys.
crying.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Yeah, Maya Hawk was balling there. Then we cut to Hopper at Enzo's with Joyce. I love that they go there a lot. You can tell by the waiter. He's like, always good to see you, Hopper. And it's like
Is that the same waiter from season 3?
I think it is, but either way, it's so good. And they're balling out now. He's getting the caviar, the Sauvignon Blanc,
They're celebrating.
Couple fillets.
Without Will.
This scene is great. There's a couple of big no-nos here. It was the 80s, and also it works in this show, right? But typically, you never want to order for your partner. That's a red flag. And you don't want to propose in public. That's pretty well established nowadays. It used to happen a lot, but
I did it.
a lot of people, you want to know your partner really well.
He literally did it on a stage.
I did it on a stage.
I'm just saying, you want to know them really well, though. That could backfire.
For sure.
That's true. In my case,
We've all seen those
my
YouTube
partner
videos.
reverse Uno'd me and proposed right back at me on the same stage.
That's how you know you got your soulmate. You know,
Yep.
I'm just giving some advice to some fellas out there. That
Yeah,
might
don't
be,
do that. My wife would have said no.
Or they might feel pressured into saying yes or something awkward, and then tell you later, actually backsies.
Takesy backsies.
Yeah. 600 people were watching. I don't know why you did it on the Jumbotron at the Coldplay concert. I don't even like Coldplay.
And then they cut to that.
And you weren't even with me. You were with some other lady, and then you suddenly proposed to me.
They were playing Fix You, and you think you can fix me, huh?
Dandy, don't drop actual Coldplay songs.
Come on.
Nobody's going to get the fucking
I
reference.
love Coldplay.
That's not like
I'll say
Nickelback,
it.
where it's like,
what?
it's coming back.
Oh, come on.
Everybody's admitting it. It's just never going to happen.
No, Nickelback was never
It
cool.
was all yellow.
That's a banger, too.
I bet it is. Ted.
You know it. You love it.
You and Ted over there
The
rocking
Scientist.
Oh, we totally breezed past that Ted was alive because he was at the graduation.
Because he
scene.
deserves to be breezed past.
Okay, I just want to point it out there. He's alive.
Justice for Ted.
You got it in. Yeah, and he says that there's nothing tying us here anymore. I got maybe a job offer in this place called Montauk. They're looking for a new chief of police.
LOL.
And then he proposes to her. And everybody's got they're singing what is that? The song from Wall-E.
Ella Fitzgerald.
The song from Wall-E was so funny. Fuck you. Mike.
I love that as that scene progresses, because initially when he proposes, everyone in the restaurant's like, "Yay, love!"
They
and
get
then
up
they're
and start
dancing,
dancing.
and you can see the people in the extras are like, "I just came here for my cannoli, and now he's right behind me. They're right behind me dancing.
They're dancing. We don't
They're gonna
dance
bump
here.
into me. I don't want them to bump into me.
I'm from Brooklyn. I came down here for a nice steak.
The houses are cheap over here. That's why I came out
Little
this way."
bit of
That's right.
caviar.
I know Enzo personally. Not the guy who owns the restaurant. He's actually a Russian guy. He used to be a prison guard. Him and Yuri, they're fun.
Yuri.
They're part of my business. Mike, Dustin, Lucas, and Will, and Max are all playing D&D. Max is not taking it well. She has a rage quit at one point when she thinks they're going to... Like, when she got him and started breaking shit,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, red flag. But also, that's me. And they think they're going to lose to this vampire. Did you catch the name? Did you write it down? I did not.
I did, but autocorrect fucked me. It's like Strahd von Douchebag. I remember is what Max calls him. But it's
that's not
Strahd
his name.
von something. Zoe something.
Yeah.
Begins with a Z.
I love how the Duffers threw a lot of vampires in here.
Just to fuck with everybody.
Yeah, because everybody had that theory.
Sorry, guys.
And then at the last second, right before Will the Wise is about to roll their doom, Dustin remembers the mage that they can summon, which is, of course, L. And
Use the
Age of
incantation.
Saint Markovia.
And then the mage defeats the villain. And Mike's like kind of epilogue is that everyone lives out their days in comfort and happiness. And they're kind of like, that comfort and happiness, that's a little corny. And he's like,
I thought
is
you were
it corny
a
though?
storyteller.
And this is so meta, right? Attacking all the, because this is what's going to happen. Oh, it's a big happy ending and everybody.
Oh, no one died?
Yes. And this is the Duffers saying, yeah, guys, you thought I was a storyteller. I think this is what happens, that everyone lives out in comfort and happiness. And then we get to see their futures, essentially, right? Mm-hmm. Lucas and Max, Lou Max survives. They go the distance. They fall ever deeper in love as time goes on.
They get their date in the movie theater.
Aww.
Mike becomes Stephen King.
I love that he did that. His arc is he becomes Stephen King.
Smoking 3 packs a day and doing a bunch of cocaine.
Yeah,
Knocking out $3 a year.
that's right.
Remember that time when we like told the villain of our plight that we weren't scared of him anymore? I got an idea, but with clowns.
That's right. And I got some weird other ideas. And then he's like,
Dustin goes to college, but he still goes on adventures with Steve, his best friend.
every summer they go out hiking the Appalachian Trail or whatever. And
Will goes to a gay bar.
he does.
He did. Remember
Those
when
are the best bars.
Remember when I was like, Will needs to go to college and find himself.
did.
It looks like it happened for my boy.
You did. You knew how it would really go.
Oh, I'm
you know
so
how it
happy
really
for
go.
him. My boy.
And then Mike's like, yeah, I want to tell all of your guys' stories, but I can't tell the real story of the mage. And they're like, what do you mean? And this is when he goes on talking about his theory about what happened with Elle, and that she was saved by Kali and that she's out there in the world being happy and she's hiking around into Sweden. I keep saying Sweden, but I'm not sure, but I think so. 3 waterfalls.
Where else are you going to get 3 waterfalls?
Is this a theory?
Back
It's
to
just
back.
a theory, right? How do we know it's true? I believe. And they all go around the table.
I believe.
I believe in a thing called love.
I'll stop for the rhythm of my heart. And then Karen comes down. What the hell's going on down there? The lasagna's getting cold. And I
Mom,
guess,
we're having a moment.
and
Fuck.
I guess Holly and all her friends already ate early because they're waiting on starting their own campaign.
Oh, that was so cute.
That was such a good ending, watching the little other kids go down there and start.
So perfect.
The fact
their
that Mike
campaign.
watches them. And I love what's her one friend, the one with the glasses? It's not Debbie, it's the other one. Who's like, Holly, I thought you said this wasn't nerdy.
Girls
this
don't
looks
fart.
nerdy.
They're going to have such a good time.
Dustin farted.
And then they're going to get old and shit's going to get crazy and stupid. And then they're, it's just going to keep on going until the world ends.
And then Mike closes the door.
And yeah, like you said, when they're all putting their character books up there, that's our characters putting their character books up there, and it's over.
Oh. And then we get a really cool like Return of the King animated credit scene, which was really cool. I really appreciated that.
Absolutely. And we sat there and watched it and had a good cry.
May it be an evening star.
Good stuff. And then it faded back in and we got to see him going to Valinor.
Yeah.
There and back again. And that's it. That is not only the end of this episode, not only the end of season 5, but that is the end of Stranger Things forever.
Wow. Whew.
Slow clap, slow clap. We still have to talk about our 3 favorite moments. We have to talk about our Easter Eggos, the identified 80s pop culture references, our favorite performance, and then we got to rank the seasons and see what fucking MadLib we created. All of that just ahead after a brief break to hear from one of our sponsors.
Stream Fiends, it's December, the month of twinkling lights, year-end reflections, and a calendar full of absolute chaos. But before we wrap up today's episode, we want to give a huge thank you to everyone who supports Streaming Things on Patreon. Whether you're tossing in $1 or going full super patron, your support means the world to us, and it keeps this show alive. But as always, we want to give a special shout out to our super patrons, those amazing folks who contribute $25 or more each month. You go above and beyond, and we are endlessly grateful. So thank you to Aaron Armstrong, A.K. Ashley Ray, Albus Stinkpot, Alexis Adler, Anthony Corona, Apple of Andy's Az, Arson Wells, Ashley Powers, Bluff Pum, Brett X, Brianna Williams, Kaylee Sampson, Daniel Pack, Elbander, Emmy, East Graymo, Haley B, Hootie Hoo, Jay Rich, Jeanette Murphy, Jen Robinson, Jer, Jim E, Joe True, Joe Velez, John Collins, Josh Stitch, Jay Scramo, Just Liz Calabria, Justin, Jadinklage Morgoon, Kalisha Reeves, Katie, Lady Trashley, Lil Tickler, Mandy Joe, Maddlestat, Mitchell, Narvel Toughnuts, Nice Guy Eddie, Paula Garcia, Peaches, Rabbit Dog in a Barbie Car, Rebellious Angel, Sean Callahan, Sean Myers, Sun Loving Mortal, Suzanne Road, Susie Callahan, Svento 7, Taloon, Trisha Bueller, Upside Down Canuck, Xander Barbarian, Casey McCain, and Enza. Thank you all so much for supporting the show, and let's get back to the episode.
And we're back for the last time ever. We found the chocolate pudding.
We found the
Andy,
chocolate pudding.
good luck picking 3 moments.
I know, it's difficult.
What are you going to do?
My number 3, I'm going to say it's the moment when Elle makes Akers shoot himself in the head.
Oh,
That shit was
sick.
gnarly as fuck, dude. It was awesome. She comes in, snap your neck, snap your neck, snap your neck. You piece of shit. You shot my sister.
You earned this.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it
I've
was
been
so
in that
fucking
brain, and I'm going to blow it.
cool. Yeah. It was just fun. Good time.
Yeah, that was probably the coolest kill.
Yeah,
in the
there
season.
weren't a ton of like action moments that made me go woo, but that one made me go woo.
Woo.
Woo. He did. He went woo.
My number 3, we kind of poked fun at this a little bit for good reason, but it hit me. And that was when Robin's like, yeah, but who's going to be the bait? And Nancy's like, me.
Oh,
and
fuck
Nancy fucking Wheeler with a rifle is going to fight a kaiju by herself. I'm so glad they gave Nancy some love, because Nancy is such a cool character. I really appreciate that they made the time to show just how awesome and badass Nancy is, and they went through with it this season as well. And that was a fun moment. That was cool.
It's a good choice. I'm actually going to steal Andy's number 3. That's my number 3 as well. Akers getting shot with his own gun, but it's kind of right after all the Hopper killing everybody and stuff. Like, I was really amped for kind of the first time during this finale in an action way. And then that was a really good kind of period on the end of that sentence,
Period.
Absolutely.
Andy, you're number 2.
My number 2 is when Will makes contact with Henry and tries to turn him and says, you are just one of us. You were just a kid that got dragged into this. The performance that Jamie Campbell Bower is giving there is fucking stellar. And yeah, I thought that was a really fun subversion of expectations, where I think we all thought that there was going to be some kind of like redemptive arc, and we're going to use you to beat the really big bad guy, and they tried it, but it didn't happen because he was too far gone or whatever. And yeah, I just think that the performances there were great. The subversion of expectations were great. And yeah, I really, really enjoyed that moment.
I'm going to go with Dustin's graduation speech as my number 2. It's just a great sort of, you get a lot of characters in that don't necessarily need a send off, but they have a moment or a little beat where you can just kind of like, yeah, this has been fun. Like when it cuts to Mr. Clark, it cuts to the Wheelers, it cuts to Erica, Ted's language, that whole bit. But also when you dive into what Dustin's saying, it really hit home. Like, there's this good chaos where I became friends with people I shouldn't be friends with. And I think we all relate to that at some point in our lives. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe not at the same point. Maybe it was in high school for us. Maybe it was college for us. Maybe it was much later in life. You kind of alluded to it earlier, Chris, but like, you know, we probably would never have been friends if Andy didn't say, hey, I know a guy who can help us with this podcast. And then we started this. Because if you go back and listen to our very first episode, that's probably like maybe the third time that you and I ever talked. And we're doing a podcast together, right? And so that moment just kind of hit me because it's true. Like,
And the
you
first
can be
time
friends
we talked,
anywhere.
really, I mean, I was wearing the Crown Royal bag and we had interactions, but we had never, I remember vividly being, this is going to sound so condescending. I need to stop prefacing that. People know I'm a prick, but I remember vividly thinking, oh, this guy can hang. You know what I mean? Because I'm a smart ass. I like to make jokes. I like to have callbacks, and I like to yes and. I've always been an improv theater kid. I've just never always did drugs instead of improv and theater, right? And I remember throwing stuff out, and you were catching them and throwing them back, and that's something that's rare. You know that I don't. I always get. There's people that I meet. And I tell you about it all the time. I'm like, oh, you know, Sydney and like all these people that when I meet them and they can like catch and throw it back and like they're really clever and, you know, it's a special thing. And you had it, but I didn't know it until the middle of that show. And I was
You
like,
lost it.
Good.
You're finding it again.
You used to have it.
I used to have it. Now I'm just stealing Andy's jokes. That's my number 2.
My number 2, and I forgot to talk about with my number 3, it's not just Akers getting shot. I love that moment where Hopper looks at Collie.
Yeah.
And she goes, no, let's do this. Fuck it. Lock it in.
We die.
Yeah. She goes full drag off. But my number 2 is when 11 gets shot, or so we think. I'm embarrassed, kind of. I was fucked up about that. You know what I mean? I was really devastated that I thought they might be doing that. And so for that, I mean, it was effective. Like you talked about the trope and the cliche of it all, but God damn it, it worked.
It was effective, yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, oh no, Hopper will never get over this. He's going to die too.
What a fucked up end for these characters that they follow through with that. Holy shit.
I was like, oh shit.
All that stuff about the Duffers not being able to do it, I take it all back.
Yeah, dude.
But it got me, you know, the kind of the Freddy Krueger of it all and seeing the Agent Orange and, you know, it was all like, oh, you know, anyway, it was scary. It was cool. That's my number 2. Andy, your favorite moment?
That ending. I mean, I don't know if you can pinpoint a specific moment, but yeah, wrapping it all up with the kids having another campaign. We get the long goodbye. We get everybody seeing what their future is going to hold. But the absolute chef's kiss moment for me was when Holly and the other kids come rushing down the stairs, and the saga continues for the next generation. Absolutely beautiful.
Agreed.
That's my favorite moment as well.
It's mine as well.
Like, I know it's a long one, but even the fact that it starts with the sprinkler going off, the exterior shot of the Wheeler house, which is, I think, the same exact shots from season 1 when we got into their original first D&D campaign. What a great way to bookend the series. And it's so emotional. You're weeping the entire time. The kids saying goodbye to their characters. Oh, like that's such a good idea to have them all Will putting his notebook on the shelf and all that stuff. And like you said, Holly and all them, the next generation, it's very effective. And when Mike closes that door, it really, even though if you really think about it, it's a young man, his sister's having fun with their friends, and he's just going upstairs. But because we've been with these characters for 10 years, that moment has as much weight to it as Frodo getting on the ship and looking back at the other hobbits before he goes off to Valinor. Like, it has that weight to it. And that's just, you know, say what you will about the season, that I think proves that it at least was effective in these situations.
Agreed. That's my number 1 as well. I mean, it's just the best possible way this could have ended. You know, that very, very end of the end was so damn good.
And it mirrors the finale of season 1 so much, with like Mike doing his whole act thing of like, and then he dies and all that shit.
His production value's gone up. Now he's using a light show.
Yeah, he had prop teeth and shit.
That was funny when he was trolling him. But also, like, his big moment doesn't work if they don't remember the mage, and he's taken that really well.
Yeah.
Fuck it, I'll keep it to myself.
I couldn't have been able to hold it from you guys. I'm like, what about a certain character from...
Is there anything you might have forgotten before you roll the dice?
could maybe help out in a bind?
Sure. You would have definitely done that. Well, those are our chocolate puddings. Now it's time for our Easter Eggos, the 80s pop culture references that are kind of baked into the text of the show. Andy, we'll go around the room one at a time. What do you got?
This is not an 80s reference, but did you guys catch that there was a dude in the audience at the graduation that was wearing a shirt that said the Duffers?
No, I didn't notice that.
Yeah. I was like, that's cool. Fuck yeah, just insert yourselves in there. That's awesome.
Oh, yeah. The Kevin Smithed it.
Holy shit, that's hilarious. Why not?
Yeah.
Why fucking not? I just think that the fact this isn't an Eggo for another 80s show, but similar to Andy, it's an Eggo for the Duffers. But the fact that Hopper is offered a job at Montauk is a reference to Stranger Things was supposed to be set in Montauk. And originally when they pitched it, it was supposed to be very different. And I think that's very cute that they kind of snuck that in there. And there's a lot of like conspiracy theories around the actual Montauk. So it's kind of funny, like, oh, if they wanted to make a sequel to Stranger Things, it's like Hopper goes to this new town. It's like, God damn it, Joyce, we went to the wrong town, Joyce.
Joyce Drive.
Yeah, the idea it's a really funny, like, their life is not about to get simple or easy, you know. Yeah.
There's Cthulhu shit, Joyce.
Again. Drive. Cujo was mentioned.
Yeah, Mutant Cujos.
Yeah, by Vicky, Mutant Cujos.
Supergirl got name dropped. Supergirl better be close.
Stephen?
I kind of talked about it before, but the kid standing up to Vecna, I'm like, we're not afraid of you anymore, and then kicking his ass is it. You know, that's what the kids do at the end of it.
I think when I was the part where Henry's like, leave me alone, and then we see him, memory Henry, take the stone, and it comes out, and it's like, find me. Very Lord of the Rings, the One Ring.
You're never going to find me.
Coded, you know?
Don't find me.
And Henry was basically a kind of a Gollum figure in this way. And that's very cool. A lot of other like Return of the King stuff, like with the way that it ends and the drawing cards and stuff. And,
Totally.
But yeah, Lord of the Rings, shouting that out again. Madelon. Andy?
I'm going to steal a music one because Robin says we got a new favorite that we want to play. She starts playing Here Comes Your Man from the Pixies.
Yes.
It's an album that came out. And
that was the song I was alluding to earlier.
April of 89. And after they did that other time jump to get the kids up to the age that they pretty much are now, it was a perfectly canonical reference.
Fucking love that song.
Love that album.
I sing that song at karaoke a lot. Got to see the Pixies in concert a
Me
year
too.
ago.
That album
Not a year
is
ago, but-
unbelievable.
Here comes your man.
That's a bucket list band. I've still never seen them.
Pixies are
It was
great,
fun.
man.
Fucking love the Pixies.
What's the bassist's name? I
Kim Deal?
She's so funny because they have a spotlight for all the members of the band, and she's just out of the spotlight, and she's just like, she looks like a haunted witch up there on stage. She's like, ah, she's just doing her like haunties vocals. She's amazing. I love her.
I made this one up. I do that from time to time. But the play, Dark of the Moon, was giving a little bit of like Suspiria to me. Like it's a really interesting play. I've never seen the Dario Argento original, but I love the Luca Guadagnino remake. I'm obsessed with that movie. I think it's perfect. And, you know, that's about ballet and that kind of stuff, but also like witch covens and stuff. And it was giving that vibe.
Yeah, the soundtrack that was playing during that was giving Yellow Jackets. It sounded a lot like the Yellow Jackets score
Antler
of
Queen.
the voices. Yeah. Ah.
Antler Queen.
I'll call out Hop mentions The Godfather when Jonathan's trying to diffuse the light when he's filming their home movie.
It's not The Godfather.
This isn't The Godfather, kid. We see the Hawk, the local movie theater in Hawkins, is reopened, I guess, and they're playing Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, which is appropriate because that is, well, at the time, it was the closing out of the Indiana Jones trilogy, and they get to ride off into the sunset all these characters we know and love and will never probably see again in worse movies. And
With Shia LaBeouf?
oh man, But
Is that the future of this franchise? Let's go.
Shia LaBeouf is Vecna.
And aliens in 20 years.
Just do it.
Deborah Winger is an actress that was brought up by Robin, but she starred in a lot of movies. But I think maybe she's in E.T.
Who is she in E.T.?
I don't know.
Is that the mom?
No, she'd be too young to. Maybe nurse zombie carrying poodle uncredited.
Fuck yeah.
In E.T.?
Yeah.
Oh, that must have been one of the when they got E.T. under the ghost outfit, and he's like, ugh.
I mean, she's in Terms of Endearment and stuff, but yeah, in E.T., I was calling that out because it's E.T. and there's so much E.T. in
Sure,
this.
yeah.
Yeah, she's the nurse zombie carrying the poodle. I don't know what that is.
Okay, it has to be the Halloween scene. It's got to where else?
Okay.
Yeah, it has to be the Halloween scene. There's nothing else it could
fair.
be.
That's fair. Yeah, that's a good guess.
Otherwise, I'm very confused.
Andy?
Let's see. Dustin says that he was going for a Belushi thing with his speech. So he's
But a Hughes version.
but a Hughes version. So he's referencing Animal House. That's fun.
Double whammy.
I love that because Belushi's a little rated R. He wants to make it a little more John Hughes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Winona Ryder got the one F-bomb. So, I had to.
Absolutely. The other ones of note I are just songs for me. If you guys have any other ones.
I have another one I made up.
Yeah?
It's, the kaiju was giving Starship Troopers.
Oh, kind of, yeah.
Not
Like
an
the
80s movie, but
the way it walks does look like the standard bug soldier.
Yeah.
That's true.
And also we did have Gary Busey's kid also in this show. It's very possible.
The only good bug is a dead bug. And then Collie holds her hand up to it. It's afraid. Or no, Will does that. He holds his hand up.
Yeah.
He's afraid.
He could be the Neil Patrick Harris. That works. All right, hit us with the music.
All right. Well, of course, we talked about the Prince, Purple Rain, and When Doves Cry. We already mentioned that. Heroes by David Bowie. The correct version for sure. Dude, when the last couple songs were so fucking amazing. We got Landslide by Fleetwood Mac. As soon as that song started playing, I'm like, I'm going to start crying.
Yeah,
That
you
song
were like, oh,
always
no.
makes me cry. Andy already mentioned Here Comes Your Man. The Trooper by Iron Maiden. We talked about that a lot.
This is music.
This is music. Hell yeah. At Last by Ella Fitzgerald plays during at Enzo's. And then we get a cover of Sweet Jane, and I missed it. It's like the Cowboy Something is the band doing the cover. I know it as a Velvet Underground song. I know the original. So write in if you know what this cover of Sweet Jane
Cowboy
by
Junkies.
the Cowboy Junkies. Thank you. I was unaware of that. It sounded awesome, and I'm definitely going to look it
Space
up.
Knife.
If Space Knife did it, can you imagine? Durner. But yeah, those are all the songs.
Well,
Great songs this time.
Yeah, you were finally getting all the meal. That's why they didn't have them in the rest of the season. They've spent all the money on the finale.
Yeah. There were so they released a record. It's like the best squawk songs that you could buy. And I thought it was the Stranger Things 5 soundtrack. Most of those songs aren't in the show, which is kind of wild. I was getting ready for all these songs to come up and they never showed up.
Dang, I don't want that record now. Fuck it. Not buying it. I almost did. It's the first thing I thought when you said that too. I was like, I'm going to buy that. Not going to now. Not if Girls on Film isn't on it. I'm going to listen to that all the way home. Now it's time for our 11 out of 10 performance nominations. This is our favorite performance of the finale. It's always tough. We're always like, it's going to be tough. It's really going to be tough, right?
Yes.
Andy, you have the unfortunate position of going first. And you just got to lead with your heart,
This is really tough.
with your mic.
I'm gonna go with Jamie Campbell Bower. He was serving in his experience, seeing his. We first start to get it. He really first starts to serve when he steps up to the edge of that cave, and he's like, "Oh my god, I gotta fucking do it! I gotta fucking do it!" And he makes it through. But then we get so much more of it when he is in the tunnel thing and having his conversation with Mike and stuff. And then also all the shit that he's doing as Vecna when he's dying and like scowling at Joyce and stuff. He did a phenomenal job. But shout out to Finn Wolfhard. I also thought that he was fantastic in this episode.
It's funny you say that because I'm giving it to Finn Wolfhard, who Mike as a character has been pretty miss for most of the show for me. Like he's great in season 1, and then I think that character takes a really weird turn in season 2, and they never really get back to what made Mike Wheeler enjoyable to watch until this season. And I'm so glad they did. He's what I always thought Mike should have been, but I guess you need character growth, whatnot. But I think much of the emotion of this episode is kind of anchored around him, because you get that great scene with him and Hopper when he goes absolutely feral trying to save Eleven at the Max Z. And then that last little bit where he looks at the kids having a good time and he's the one that closes the door on this story. I think that was great. And he does a tremendous job anchoring that performance, and I'm going to give it to him.
I'm in a tough spot here. I really do think I'm going to give it to Jamie Campbell Bower. That was my thought. I don't think I've ever given it to him before, but nor would I've ever given it to Finn Wolfhard. For both great choices. I mean, there's so many. I do think I stand by that. The Gaten Matarazzo, Sadie Sink, and Caleb McLaughlin are like the best performances consistently, especially in this season.
Yes.
But Finn Wolfhard does an incredible job in this episode. But I think Jamie Campbell Bower deserves it. He was doing a lot in this episode, and I don't think any of this works because a lot of people are hit or miss. Maybe the dialogue they were given is not great, or the editing's a little off, or whatever it is, right? But if what Jamie's doing doesn't work, none of this works. You know what I mean?
That's true.
And I really think he pulled it off in some weird, tough, freaky shit, you know, and made it work. Came through. And he does the voice work and the prosthetics work, and he does a lot of really good dramatic stuff. If you've seen him in interviews and stuff, he's just like this swagalicious, like Rolling Stone dude, and he's nothing like this. I mean, he's doing great stuff. So yeah,
swagalicious.
Yeah,
I love that.
It's an adjective.
Yeah, save that for the Breaking Bad MadLibs.
That's right.
Breaking Bad MadLibs.
Okay,
Breaking Bad Libs.
Andy. Holy shit, he took your job.
I'm happy to give it to the next generation.
That's right. You're Mike watching Andy make MadLibs now. Tear in your eye. Well, we have, before the Mad Lib, we have one really important thing to do. We have to rank the seasons. The official Streaming Things Pod ranking. Now, a couple things. The official pod ranking without 5 so far, just to remind everybody and to tell new listeners, we all have to agree on what it is. And so far, the only way we've been able to do that is at the bottom from worst to best, 2, 3, 4, 1. But Steve kind of put an extra weird caveat in that. He's like, 1's above 4, but with the right to switch that if I so see fit, because I want to see how they end this show, and that might change some feelings I have about season 4. That's what you said at the time. So it's a tentative 2, 3, 4, 1. Where are we going to put 5? Do you have anything to say about, is 4 recontextualized with 5 now? That kind of stuff. And also we should say, we really like season 2. It's just at the bottom. It's not a bad bottom.
Yeah,
it's a good bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Totally.
Me.
Love a good bottom.
This is hard, Andy.
Yeah.
Because we literally just finished it.
Yeah.
And part of me kind of wants some time to marinate on my thoughts. I have an idea what I would vote for in the moment, but maybe it'll change by the time we record our mailbag on Sunday. Know what I mean?
Yeah, well, we can revisit it then. But for now, what's your instinct?
My instinct is to put it at the bottom.
Okay.
Again, love season 2. I think this season is it ends very strongly. I think it begins strongly. I think the middle is a little weak, which is a problem that I think season, I don't know, 3, 4 definitely had that same problem. So if I put it below 2, it's just because I think it's a little bit uneven. I would like more. I still really enjoyed my time with it. And maybe if I sit with this more, it'll go higher. I just feel like if someone put a gun to my head and was like, you can rewatch seasons 1 or 5 right now, what do you watch? I'll rewatch all of season 2, but I'll watch the last episode of season 5 immediately. You know what I'm saying?
Totally.
I agree with you 1,000%. And I don't think it's going to change at all for me. That I think my heart is definitely in worst to best, 5, 2, 3, 4, 1. And I don't think that'll ever change with any amount of thinking.
I could see an argument to say that like 5 had more of a plan than 2, where 2 like is a little uneven with like Will just drawing a bunch of tunnels and he's possessed and demos are coming in the lab. The gate's back again. You know what I mean? Whereas 5 feels like it had 2 felt like let's do 1 again, but try to make it bigger. And how can we recreate the Christmas lights without using Christmas lights? Well, let's put maps all over the walls, but
2-year
overall, yes. I would say that my instinct is to put this at the bottom as well. I would not. So my personal ranking would be 5, 2, 4, 3, or 4, 1, 3.
You love season 3.
Love season 3. Favorite season. But yeah, so I think that I could put it at the bottom, at least for now.
Okay.
We can revisit.
We're all bottom bitches.
We're all bottoms here.
I don't. Yeah, I
Not
think,
that we didn't love it.
I think 5 is definitely at the bottom.
Yeah.
I respect that. All right, we did it.
We did it, guys.
All right, the official streaming things ranking so far. With the right to revisit if we have different thoughts after reading the mailbag and doing that episode next week. So yes, that is to say, again, reminder, email streamingthingspod@gmail.com. You're probably listening to this at some point on, what day is today? Thursday. At the earliest.
Thursday, January 1st.
You have a couple of days to send in your emails, but if it is after Sunday, really Sunday morning, I wouldn't say don't bother because I still love to read your email, but it probably won't be read on the air because we'll be recording it that afternoon.
Yeah.
Also, again, patreon.com/streaming things. If you can, if you're so inclined, if you want episodes like this, but for other shows that we would never do on the main feed, like the entire run of Game of Thrones, Arcane, Midnight Mass, that kind of stuff, and also hundreds of other movies, ad-free episodes, early episodes. We do weird bonus content things all the time over there. So there's tons of stuff for patrons in that direction, in your general direction. If you're so inclined, check that over there. And then we're going to be starting A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, the new Westeros set TV show from the Game of Thrones universe within a couple of weeks. And Breaking Bad over on the Patreon. And then a bunch of good stuff lined up on the main feed and Patreon feed after that. But more will be disclosed later. The last thing we have here to do tonight is read this monstrosity we have created.
The MadLibs. Now, before I read the MadLibs, Lavender Haze has been submitting all of the MadLibs for this season, and they've been doing an incredible job. And they wanted to give us one last parting gift before we get into the MadLib, and I'm going to read it to you now. They write, "To the boys of streaming things, thank you for including these MadLibs on the podcast. They were an absolute blast to write, and hearing you 3 have fun with them brought the biggest smile to my face. I am confident I can speak for all fiends and fans by saying that your coverage has been a real treat. You strike this beautiful balance between levity and vulnerability in every episode. You are open to hearing new and perhaps differing perspectives, and your silly goosery has been a real hoot, honk, to listen to. With the namesake of your podcast coming to an end, I wanted to make sure you knew how much good you've put into the world by doing something that seems so simple. And I say seems because I know there is a lot of work that goes into producing this show. I've so enjoyed this journey with you and look forward to what the next chapter has in store for streaming things. Thank you for your hard work, opinions, and anecdotes and laughs. Happy New Year and happy streaming."
Thank you, Lavender Haze.
Thank you, Lavender. That
I'm
was
done
so
crying
sweet.
for the day.
Well, you're not done crying yet because we still have to read the MadLibs, the story you guys helped craft with the words at the beginning of the episode. You guys ready to hear this one?
Yes.
Here it is. Tonight, one last fight. Tonight, one squishy battle. Tonight, our heroes defeat the Rubber Chicken Man. One last time. While Eleven submerges herself in a bath of piss, attempting to locate Henry and possibly even the Hymen Flare, the rest of the team will divide and conquer. Hop and Nancy will take turns knocking out what will almost certainly be a squadron of rabid, scared Demogorgons. Steve and Dustin will prematurely protect one another in the name of best friendship. Lucas might attempt to take out one last demo Aardvark. with the help of his wrist rocket. Mike, ever the ball hair of the team, will encourage all of our players to defeat evil forces once and for all, and will, between his strength and recently accessed sets of orbs, I should have read this better. He will be a pansexual asset, if not the most of all, to ending the fight in Hawkins. Undoubtedly, I will miss our ragtag little crew of nipple clamps. I can imagine that their futures might look like in later decades. Max's new Kate Bush would be the bare naked ladies. Erica and Mr. Clark will profit off a scientific discovery surrounding bags of shit. Steve becomes an even bigger trendsetter and decides to sport a flat top for the first time. Robin and Murray co-host a podcast about the veracity of the moon landing. That's probably accurate. Jonathan earns Instagram fame with an account of perfectly curated photos of planets. And he's finally able to buy Joyce that dream home she's always wanted, a beautiful 2-story right in the heart of Michael Cera's basement. Let's not forget our fallen but smothered and covered heroes who've added to the story throughout the years. Rest in peace, Bob. You would have loved Ernest Scared Stupid. Rest in peace, Billy. You would have loved cum-flavored vapes. Rest in peace, Alexi. You would have loved free strawberry lube Slurpees on July 11th. Rest in peace, Barb. You would have loved flustered pool parties. Rest in peace, Eddie. You would have had the top score in Skin Flute Hero. Thank you, Duffers, for constructing a story that details love, friendship, and most importantly, rapture. You've given so many of us new and finna-bust phrases to add to our lexicon. From "you are like Papa" to "bubes don't lie." Now for one last time. Later, peepees. And thus concludes Finn.
You made Boobs Don't Lie sad somehow at the end. That was our final Stranger Things Mad Lib, but we're going to be doing all kinds of other silly ass Breaking Bad libs and who knows what else soon. Thank you guys for listening. Don't forget the mailbag episode. It's all the time we have forever. My name is Kit.
I'm Andy.
And I'm Steve.
And this was Streaming Things, streaming Stranger Things.
Happy streaming.